We are back in the capital city once again for championship weekend number 2 at War Memorial Stadium. Tonight, the 4A state championship takes center stage between the Robinson Senators and the Shiloh Christian Saints. Welcome inside our broadcast booth once again. Hope you're ready for 3 more great football games this weekend. This is the lone one tonight. My name is Scott Inman. Bobby Swafford again to my right as we get ready for what we expect, Bobby, to be a really good football game. When you look at the records of these two teams, only one loss between them, and they get it done offensively.
They get it done offensively. These two teams have been in the top 5 all season long. Shiloh Christian, Pulaski Robinson can score points in bunches. Talking about Shiloh, the #1 scoring team in Class 4A, 52 points per game. Robinson not far behind. They're up in the 40s.
Now, they do it a little bit differently, I would say. A very balanced attack for Robinson, about 200 yards passing per game, about 200 yards rushing per game. Shiloh's going to fling it around a little bit more, and they have one of the state's best receivers.
Yeah, Eli Reese is a really good quarterback, but when you've got a guy like Truett Tollett to get the job done on the outside, has a chance to become just the 3rd player in Arkansas high school football history that we know of to get 2,000 yards receiving, and not to mention 1 touchdown catch ties the all-time state record for a season. 2's going to break it.
Well, we mentioned the balance on the Robinson side. They've got a 1,700-yard rusher we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be the strength versus the strength. Shiloh Christian thinks they can stop the run, but Pulaski Robinson obviously got some big linemen, including a sophomore we're going to talk about during the broadcast, that can mow people over.
Well, it's a gorgeous night once again. It is December, so it is a little chilly, but hardly any chance of rain as we go down onto the field and check in as the Shiloh Christian Saints make their way onto the field. And we check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Eric Sullivan. Eric.
Yeah, Scott and Bobby, good to be back with you guys for what should be a great game here at War Memorial Stadium. We're already off to a great start. Not 1, not 2, but 3 students made the Yarnell's field goal to get free ice cream for a year. So congrats to those kids. And when you talk strategy about this game, Bobby, you alluded to it. Truett Tollett is just, I've never seen anything like this. The offense really goes through him, and nobody's been able to stop him all year with 117 catches, 29 touchdowns. But keep in mind, Robinson is going to go after the quarterback. Their big 3 on defense, Chandler McIntosh, JT Towers, and Jonathan Blackman, have led this Senator defense to 58 sacks. So there you go. Robinson gets to the quarterback. They're probably going to win the football game. If Shiloh's able to calm down, ease in their offense, and move it up and down the field, they're probably going to win. So we're off to a great start here in this 2nd weekend of the state championship games. About 48 degrees. It's crisp and perfect football weather. Away we go, boys. Let's send it back up to you.
All right, Eric, thanks very much. For the Senators, they were here just 12 months ago, lost to Arkadelphia in the 4A championship game. This is the first time for Shiloh since 2010, but boy, they know how to get here. This will be their 11th overall.
Yeah, 11th since 1997, mind you. So these two teams, no strangers to War Memorial Stadium. But you know Robinson has a bad taste in their mouth. They're 13-1 this year, but you get to the title game last year, lose to Arkadelphia, the defending champion from last season, 20-8. That football game really got away from them. The weather was nasty. A couple calls didn't go their way. You know the Senators are going to come out and try to right that wrong.
We're about 3 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to step aside, take a pregame break, and be back with kickoff between the Saints and the Senators at War Memorial Stadium next. You're watching the state championships on AETN Sports.
One of the best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at MountainHunterBank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Well, we mentioned that Robinson was here just a year ago. They did not win, as we talked about. They have 1 state championship in school history. That was 1980. Todd Escola, who is the head coach of the Robinson Senators, was a ball boy on that team. So he obviously has Robinson running through his blood, and he's done a great job for the Senators.
And they've been one of the premier Class 4A programs really the last 4 or 5 years. They've been in the hunt. They get to the championship game last year. They've been in the semifinals the last few seasons. But to get to this point, they feel like this is their best chance. A lot of people say this is the best Robinson team since that championship team more than 3 decades ago. We'll see how Shiloh Christian kind of matches up athletically because the Saints are pretty good, and well, they know how to be here as well.
And for Shiloh, 14-0 the record under head coach Jeff Conaway. There have been some good coaches go through that program, and Conaway can add his name to the list now.
That's right. It starts with Gus Malzahn, then goes to Josh Floyd, but Conaway has done a really nice job not getting to a championship game in almost a decade's unheard of at Shiloh Christian. The run they had in the 90s and the early part of the 2000s. 9 years is a drought, but they got a chance to end that and obviously get back in this championship game and trying to win their first title since that 2010 season.
Well, he said that the 24 seniors on this team made their minds up at the beginning of this season that they wanted to win a state title. And for Robinson, Coach Escola telling us earlier in the week, there hasn't been much celebrating during the playoffs because this was the goal, to get back here to the state championship game. So it's been the goal since day one for these two teams. The only one's going to hoist that trophy at the end of the night.
Yeah, we saw the experience level for Robinson, if you will. Shiloh Christian came out of the field. They were ready to run through the banner 9 minutes before kickoff. Robinson didn't come out until just a few minutes ago, so maybe that experience of kicking off at 7:05 and not 7 o'clock is already going to the guys in the white uniforms across the way.
So the Senators will kick it off, and Shiloh will start on offense. For Robinson, Salvador Gabriel is the kickoff man. And back deep to return will be Truett Tollett and Ben Baker for Shiloh Christian. Baker has a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown this year. Keaton Carter also back there for the Saints.
Special teams is going to be big, Scott. It always is in these games of magnitude. But Shiloh Christian, obviously, they're on the receiving end here, but they've shown a lot of times this season they're not afraid to onside kick it, so there may be some real quick change in momentums in this contest.
All right, here we go. The 4A state championship is underway from Little Rock. And the squirts away, but Carter's going to recover at about the 7-yard line and taken down at the 9. What a start for the Robinson special teams. And the Saints will be backed up on their own end. Only a 2-yard return for Keaton Carter.
Yeah, outside of a turnover, that's the worst start you can have if you're Shiloh Christian. You misplay the kick. They'll start this football game, and the offense already inside the 10-yard line, but they're not going to shy away from what they do, the Shiloh Christian offense. They're going to throw it, and they're going to go in and do it in a hurry.
You're going to have to help me keep up tonight, Bobby, because they are going to go fast. Eli Reese is the quarterback, and he's going to throw on first down. That one is caught by Truett Tollett. We're going to see a lot of him. That already his 118th catch of the year, 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, just needs 130 yards now to break the 2,000-yard mark. Eli Reese creeping up on 4,000. There's going to be a lot of those short passes, a lot of things that come across the middle, and that's when they lull you to sleep and try to hit you deep.
Short gain on the play, though. So it's 2nd down and 8, second play from scrimmage. And Reese going to throw again. He's going to go up top. The near sidelines, and it's caught on the run by Tollett. Boy, that was pretty good coverage, Bobby, but Tollett hauls it down and gets it into plus territory. Stop made by Martell Nunnally.
Talking with Coach Conaway earlier this week, he said if they get one-on-one matchups, there's a lot of things the defense has to do perfect to stop it. More times than not, the offense is going to make a play. That time, Tollett did it.
Created the separation right there at the end. Logan Rabin is the back in the backfield now with quarterback Eli Reese on 1st and 10. Reese to throw again. And he's got a man. Splits the defenders, and it's caught by Luke Hutchinson. And Hutchinson, another short gain, only about a 3-yard pickup, a short passing game for Shiloh.
Yeah, Eric mentioned the number of sacks this Robinson defense has. Look for Eli Reese to be put on the move a lot, move the pocket, and not have an easy target.
4th straight passing play. Reese this time under a little bit of pressure. He connects with Tollett again, but it's a short gain. I don't know if he got a yard. He may have gotten a yard. We'll give it to him. 3rd down coming up.
That's where the pace goes so important for Shiloh Christian. The nose tackle for Robinson was looking at the sideline when they snapped the football, clearly not ready for the no huddle.
So here's a big 3rd down play again, and a shift late. Cam Wiedemann is the back. He goes in motion out of the backfield. Reese looking middle, now looking right, and he's got another man open, and it's caught at the 10-yard line. Down the sidelines he goes. He's out of bounds. Bo Kaysen will be marked out at the 3. I thought for a moment he might have gotten in, Bobby, a 36-yard pickup.
That's a perfect throw from Reese, and if you need a number 2, the Batman to the Robin, Kaysen's it. 46 catches before that one. Another big gainer, and Shiloh's show they're not afraid to go deep, and they got the ball to 1st and goal, knocking on the door line just 2 minutes into this football game, and it looks like I guess this could be considered maybe a scoring play, so maybe we get a review in the first 2 minutes of this football game.
All right. They are going to stop down for just a moment to take a look at the replay.
The play is under further review.
Boy, Eli Reese has been deadly accurate with the deep ball in the first two that he's thrown here in this game. So the question is, did Kaysen step out of bounds?
Yep, 5 of 5 passing already for Reese, 88 yards.
Well, let's take a look. I don't think he's out of bounds. That may be a touchdown.
Yeah, you know, last week we were perfect, Scott, so we're putting our record on the line, but I'm with you. That looked like a touchdown, and the 88 yards passing already for Eli Reese puts him over 4,000 yards on the season.
Let's go down to Eric.
Yeah, Scott and Bobby, I was looking at it right here. The Kaysen young man did not step out of bounds. I was just like you, Scott, so that's going to be ruled a touchdown, and what a start for Shiloh's offense to get 7 on the board here really, really quick.
If it gets overturned, which we assume that will, a 39-yard touchdown play.
Going to turn into 42.
Yep.
Well,
it was 36, so it's going to be 39 if they overturn the replay.
Yeah, but, you know, Eric mentioned it, the big front. You can see the size advantage for Robinson up front, but they moved the pocket, and the offensive line up front for Shiloh Christian did a nice job protecting, but you can't ask for a better start, not even attempting to run the football. But 5 of 5, going to be 91 yards passing, and they do it in a minute and 43 seconds. That is a perfect start for an offense for Shiloh Christian. A little surprising it's taken this long.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think he really isn't very close on the replay that we're seeing, and it will remind you again that the replay official is using is this replay. The AET and cameras is what they're using. I don't see it really being that close.
Yeah, the only thing they may be looking at is the time on the clock, because obviously they would have set the football, have to put some more time on the clock. So instead of a minute 43, this could be a minute 35 scoring drive.
All right, here's Paul Fuller to give us the details of the instant replay ruling.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. Touchdown.
They're still perfect, Scott.
Yep, and so are they.
They are. That's right. That's the reason they installed instant replay this year in the state of Arkansas in these championship games, to get plays like that one right, and they did exactly that. Now Shiloh Christian going to line up in this swinging gate a ton on the try. We'll have to see if they decide to go for 2 this early in the game or decide to kick the extra point.
All right, so Kaysen, that's his 8th touchdown catch of the year and his 47th overall reception. He's had a good year. 6'4", 185, a senior for Shiloh. Thought he was out at the 3, and now he gets to find out he got a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a big play, a big momentum swing for Shiloh Christian's got a pretty nice crowd. They made the trip from Springdale, and they've got a chance to extend this lead to 7.
The quarterback, Eli Reese, doing the holding. Keaton Carter with the point after. And Shiloh has a 7-0 lead on the Senators, not even 2 minutes in the 4A state championship game in Little Rock. We're back to War Memorial Stadium in a moment. You're watching the high school state championships on AETN Sports.
Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. And when you support your local station, you can get PBS Passport, giving you access to more episodes, more specials, more of what you love. Get the free PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime you want, anywhere you are.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Well, welcome back into War Memorial Stadium, where Shiloh Christian has struck first in this 4A state championship game. 91 yards on just 5 plays, a minute 43 off the clock. And don't forget, you can get updates about this game and all the other state finals on AETN right to your phone. Just text AETN Sports to 313131.
Carter will send a sky kick out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So Robinson's going to get a good start as we'll get our first look at their offense. Well, it's a quick strike for Shiloh Christian. Robinson can certainly score quickly, but you're not going to see the pace that you saw with the Saints in that opening drive.
That's exactly right. Shiloh Christian is one of the fastest moving offenses as far as tempo goes in the entire state. Robinson a little more methodical, but they've got playmakers all across. It starts with their quarterback, Buddy Gaston, Hunter Smith, the running back.
Ball will go and play on the 35.
And then on the outside, they've got two, and P.J. Hall and Nunnally on the outside, both with nearly 50 catches.
All right, so here comes the offense. Buddy Gaston is your quarterback. He's a 6'4", 201-pound junior in the pistol with Hunter Smith behind him. He's a 6 foot 175 junior, and Smith has D1 offers already as a junior. He's run for 1,709 yards this season, and he gets the first carry of the game offensively for Robinson, and it's a big gain over the right end to about the 44-yard line. That's a pickup of 9. Keaton Carter, the kicker for Shiloh, is also the cornerback starter for Shiloh, and he makes the stop.
Yeah, that's something that Robinson's going to be content with, 8-9 yards. You see the size that Robinson has up front, especially at left tackle. We'll talk about him after this play. It's just 9 yards, and especially to keep the Shiloh Christian offense on the sideline is going to be big.
2nd and a yard. And they'll give it on the end around, or they'll give it inside rather to Smith again, and he's got the first down. Boy, another big gain off the right side. He gets into plus territory. So 2 carries for Hunter Smith, and he moves the sticks for Robinson.
Yeah, that's why the kickoff out of bounds was so important. But you look at the big left tackle for Robinson, number 76, Marion Harris, stands 6'6", 305, just a sophomore, but also starting in his second straight state championship game. Starting as a true freshman, it's pretty impressive at this level.
Yeah, it's a big offensive line and a very balanced approach. Hunter Smith is now standing next to Gaston on this first down play, and they'll give him a steady dose again of Hunter Smith, and another good gain on first down. Stop is made by Max Suarez, but not before Smith gets 6.
Yeah, Shiloh Christian routinely lines up in 3-down linemen, led by number 21, Russell Norsworthy, and they're going to run right at that light box, if you will, for Shiloh Christian.
Shiloh has only given up 13.6 points per game. That's the 3rd fewest in 4A, but Robinson controlling the line of scrimmage here early. Gaston will change the play. Shiloh shows blitz, and they're coming. They get to Gaston, but he throws it over the middle. It is caught at the 34-yard line. That's a diving grab by senior Martell Nunnally.
Yeah, Gaston had to hold up ball for just a second longer than he wanted, and Braden Tutt delivered a huge blow. Pass a little behind his receiver, but able to get the job done. Nice job by Gaston to hang in there, take the big blow, and deliver a first down pass.
48th catch of the year for Nunnally. And now Robinson threatening on their opening drive. They'll give it to Smith. Smith inside run this time as he cut it back. And that is the shortest run of the night so far, only about a yard on the play for Hunter Smith. Hunter Mason, the defensive tackle for Shiloh, makes the stop.
That was the first time Shiloh got any kind of penetration. It was Norsworthy, number 21, right in the middle, got upfield, had to force the run back into the inside, but Smith still picks up a couple, but a nice job by Shiloh Christian to limit the damage there on first down.
Now Gaston, the quarterback, can also run it. He has 46 carries this year, only 113 yards because the sacks are taken out of that, but he is a bit of a threat to run. He'll be the only guy in the backfield now. And he sets up, fires over the middle. It's tipped, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Shiloh's Keaton Carter behind the play. And the first turnover of the game belongs to the Saints.
It looked like it was 44, Caden Henley, who got his finger on this. We take a look at the replay. A great job. Gets the full extension. It was Henley who tips in the air, and Shiloh Christian catches the first big break in this football game. And what a heads-up play, and that's why you run the tip drill so many times, Scott.
Well, great catch earlier in the drive by Nunnally behind him, and now how about the pick?
Yep.
That time by the Shiloh defender, too.
Yeah,
those were 2 great grabs.
That is a play that could be reviewed as a turnover, but the ball looked like it touched the ground but did not move, and so it looked like Shiloh's defender had full possession of it, and now the offense that just marched down the field 91 yards the last time they touched it have a chance 88 yards away from the goal line.
Robinson very good in the turnover department this year, but their only loss this year was to Arkadelphia, 28-27, and they turned the ball over 6 times in that game. Turnovers will cost you. Quarterback is Eli Reese, and he swings it out into the backfield to Tollett again, and Tollett has good yardage close to the 20. He'll break the play to the 20-yard line. That's an 8-yard gain on first down. Jonathan Blackman made the stop.
Already 4 touches for Tollett. They're going to rule that one was a backwards pass, so it's going to go in the rushing stats. But you can see they're going to try to get Tollett the football as much as possible and any chance they can get him in space.
And they'll keep it on the ground for the first time. The run made by Wiedemann, and Wiedemann is close to the first down. The mark will give it to him. It's a 3-yard gain, so Shiloh's going to move the chains again on their first rushing play.
Shiloh Christian has been dared to run the football the last few weeks of this playoffs because their passing numbers have been so high, and Wiedemann's taken advantage. 3 straight 100-yard games and over 1,000 for the season.
Logan Rabin now your running back for the Saints here on 1st and 10. Moving the pocket. Reese is going to go down in the backfield at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 3 on the play. Jonathan Blackman got to him, the big nose guard, 6 foot 235.
That's a nice job by Blackman to get upfield, force Reese to hold the football. He tried to step up in the pocket, but nothing there, and finally put Shiloh behind the sticks for the first time tonight.
Shiloh's right back at it on 2nd and long, throwing towards the sticks. That ball is caught by Hues. Tollett again right at the sticks. He's a little bit short. In fact, they don't give him a good mark there. 31-yard line is where it's brought down. A 10-yard gain, but that brings up a very manageable 3rd down and 2.
Already the 4th catch for Tollett, and Shiloh already to the line of scrimmage.
They'll give it to Wiedemann, and Wiedemann shuffles his way through the pack, and he has got the first down and more out to the 38-yard line. And the chains move again. P.J. Hall, the free safety for Robinson on the stop.
Yeah, Shiloh Christian is not huge up front, but they do a nice job of getting a body on a body, a hat on a hat, and Wiedemann just finds a hole, slides through, and Shiloh Christian on the move.
Wiedemann a 1,200-yard rusher this year, though. Getting more on that drive. Reese connects with Wiedemann out of the backfield, and he is out of bounds at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 8 on the play, and it's going to be 2nd down and short. Stop made by James Jordan.
It's always part of the offensive game plan for Coach DePriest and that offense for the Saints, but they're doing a nice job of moving Reese, getting him off the spot, put him on the rollout, and you can see he's got a pretty accurate arm when he is on the move.
Keep waiting for that deep ball. They feel like they're going to unload it at some point. Here it is. Reese into coverage, and this one, maybe should have been picked off, but it's going to be incomplete. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. P.J. Hall was right there and almost made his 3rd interception of the year.
Yeah, that's a play that maybe should have been made for the Robinson defense. The first miscue by Reese really just kind of threw it up and tried to get his man to go, but you got 2 defenders in the same area, 2 receivers in the same area, and that's going to lead to disaster more times than not.
Not a bad call on 2nd down and 2 because now it's 3rd down and 2 and they go to the ground. And the first down made and then some. Rabin finally brought down in the secondary. He is into plus territory.
He's the utility weapon, if you will, Scott. He's the short yardage running back, but also the tight end, 68 carries, now over 500 yards on the season.
Reese back to work. Shiloh's going to get their plays into double coverage again. Boy, right into the sandwich. And another first down throw for Reese. Luke Hutchinson makes the catch.
Yeah, 8 of 9 passing already for Reese, well over 100 yards. He's feeling it now. In the last game, he's going to play with the Saints uniform.
Reese on 2nd and short. In trouble. Gets out of it. Lowers his shoulders and gets the first down to the 30-yard line. K.J. Merriweather with the tackle.
That's a nice job by Reese to avoid the tackle. Looks like it's going to be a big loss, but he kind of ducks under. Reese is not a real big player, but he's able to avoid the pressure and picks up another first down.
Hand off on the ground to Rabin. Rabin, minimal yardage there. Boy, with a 4-yard pickup there, they keep you on your heels with that pace, don't they?
It's amazing how many plays they've already run. I mean, you're talking, this is play number 17 already offensively coming up, and we're just now halfway point with this first quarter. So on pace to run 100 plays offensively. Obviously, they're not going to keep that pace, but still pretty impressive start.
Took them less than 2 minutes to score on their opening possession. This drive has been a little more methodical. Here's the flip to Tollett, and he's going to rush it. Cuts it upfield, inside the 10. Touchdown, Shiloh.
They try to get him the football any way they possibly can, and Truett Tollett, you said that was a forward pass, a little flip. That ties these all-time state record for receptions, but there is a flag down on the far 21-yard line. This one may be coming back.
It was a 26-yard touchdown run, and everybody's walking back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but that's
holding on offense. Repeat second down.
That's a prime example, though, of how Shiloh Christian's going to get Tollett the football. They know Robinson's going to key on it. Every defense all season long has tried to key on number 8 in Navy, but they're going to move him around. They're going to send him in motion, and they're going to flip him the football any chance they can get him the ball in space. And we've already seen he's pretty dangerous with the ball in his hands.
So since that was a downfield hold, the damage is a little more minimal as far as the down and distance goes. It's pretty severe when you figure it just wiped a touchdown off the board, but it's second down and 11 now. So the drive by far is not over yet. Empty set now for Reese at quarterback for Shiloh Christian. He already has a touchdown pass in the first quarter today, and he's going over the middle, and that ball is dropped. He had a man, and it was Tollett, but Tollett received a pretty big hit on that play and couldn't hang on.
Yeah, he was initially open coming across the middle, but you mentioned he took a big shot, did Tollett coming right there and just lowers the shoulder, lowers the boom. It's K.J. Merriweather, defensive back for Robinson. That forces a big third down and really the first big significant play for the Saints offense they're going to face tonight.
And if you're wondering about field goal territory, they've only attempted one this year, 0 for 1, so this is likely 4-down territory. First third down of the game for Shiloh. And Reese wants it all. And good defensive play that time. The pass broken up by Robinson. P.J. Hall saved the touchdown.
That's a nice job by Hall. Tollett had a step on him with the ball, maybe a second underthrown and a little late getting there, and Hall does a nice job batting it down. But as you mentioned, Shiloh doesn't kick it too often. Likely going to be 4-down territory and 4th and 11 well within striking distance for the Saints.
Saints scored in less than 2 minutes, as we mentioned, on their opening possession. A play that was initially on the field ruled out of bounds at the 3-yard line. A good use of instant replay showed that it was indeed a touchdown. And the Saints trying to go up 2 scores. They're going to call a timeout, recognizing how big of a play this is early in the game. Jeff Conaway wants to talk things over.
Yeah, it looked like Robinson might have been some pressure from up in the front. You mentioned the 5-wide set, so it was going to be 5 blockers, likely against 6 rushers for Robinson. So Conaway calls a timeout, and they're going to rethink things, taking this 4th and 11 call.
Well, the time of possession right now, and obviously we've got a long way to go, but Robinson's had it 2 minutes and 39 seconds, and Shiloh's had it 4 minutes and 33 seconds. It feels like it's been longer than that.
Yeah, you look at this drive, 14 plays, 57 yards, a whole lot more methodical, if you want to use that term, than the first drive. But Shiloh Christian shows they'll take the little dinks and dunks as long as you give it to them.
But we'll see if Shiloh changes the play call here after they didn't like what they saw in the formation of Robinson. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Yeah, Scott and Bobby, I've been hanging out on the Senators sideline. The coaching staff, especially on defense, very, very upset. They just seem like they're out of place a lot on the interior part of it. And when you look at Robinson's D-backs, they've had really great coverage, but Eli Reese has just been that accurate throwing the football. You all know the stats so far this game. He's been outstanding. But for Robinson, you got to wonder, did they get away from the run a little too soon? I think Coach Escola has established they're going to try to run it down Shiloh's throat and shorten this football game.
I think Eric makes a good point with how accurate Reese has been. The coverage has not been that bad for Pulaski Robinson at all. But Reese has made some fantastic throws so far. Does he have another one up his sleeve here on 4th down and 11? We're about to find out. He's got time, and he lobs it into traffic again, and it's knocked away. Another fine defensive play by P.J. Hall. There were about 4 white jerseys there. That was a very dangerous throw.
Yeah, Rabin was initially open running down the seam, but the ball had a little too much air underneath it, and Robinson's defenders closed on it in a hurry, and another big blow to deliver. That's the second time on this drive that Robinson got there right when the football did, knocked it away, and a huge defensive stop for the Senators.
Yeah, you're right. If he didn't put so much air under it, he may have had him there. So Robinson will take over their second offensive set. They turn the ball over in Shiloh territory their first time. Buddy Gaston, the quarterback, Hunter Smith, standing right there next to him. And they will reverse to Smith. Smith has it. I'm sorry. I thought they play faked it to Smith, but they did give it to Hunter Smith, and he gets over to the 40-yard line right at the sticks. In fact, they'll mark him at the 41, and that's going to move him. A 10-yard gain for Hunter Smith. A little bit of Auburn-like pre-snap movement and deception. A lot of eye candy going on.
Yeah, there is a lot of window dressing going on with this Robinson offense, but a simple off-tackle play to the left for the offense, and they pick up 10 yards, and the chains are moving. And I'm with Eric that maybe they got to run away from the run a little too early on that first drive.
It is certainly working for him. Hunter Smith again, a big hole by the offensive line. And Smith is in a foot race. Inside the 20, he's going to be wrestled down inside the 15-yard line by Drew Dudley for Shiloh. It's a big run for Robinson to get them into the red zone. 34 yards for Hunter Smith.
Robinson's having a ton of success just running right up the middle. That 3-4 defense is getting attacked right in the teeth of it. They get noteworthy, the nose guard blocked, and it was just smooth sailing for Hunter Smith, who's already up near 50 yards in this football game.
Well, here would be a time where you would think maybe they'd stay on the ground, as they've had good success with it. J.T. Towers is stuffed immediately, though. Braden Tutt comes up from his linebacker spot, a 5'11", 150 junior.
The second time they brought Tutt off the edge. The first time they got a big shot on the quarterback, and that time makes the play in the backfield. And that was the first time that really Robinson has been stuffed at the line of scrimmage or behind. That's a big confidence booster for the Shiloh defense, and they're probably going to see a lot more of that edge pressure.
Towers again the running back. He's also the backup quarterback. But Gaston is the signal caller here, and a flag's going to come down. It's a pre-snap penalty. Looked like maybe Robinson moved.
Dead ball. False start on the offense.
Do you know someone who couldn't make it to the game? Just remind them. They can watch it statewide tonight and both games tomorrow on AETN.
Well, we saw it all last weekend, didn't we?
We did.
Saw a physical bruising game in the 7A title game. We saw Pulaski Academy wing it all over the field, and then the best game of the night, the best game of the weekend, was Benton and Searcy. We saw Searcy win a state championship. What do we have in store this weekend? Fake to Towers and the throw by Gaston. It's going to be a short gain, though, caught by P.J. Hall. About a 3-yard pickup back to the 20. And after that penalty and now a negative play before that, it's going to be 3rd down and long here for the Senators.
A nice job by the Shiloh linebackers to recognize that was a screen, and they get out in space, and they really, it looked like when that was first initially set up it was going to be a big play, but they get out and make the play in open space, and Robinson's facing their first 3rd and long of the night.
Much like we talked about with Shiloh, it may be 4-down territory for Robinson, too. They've only attempted 1 field goal this year, too. Salvador Gabriel did hit it. It was a 29-yarder. So this is going to be 10 yards farther than that at least, or about 10 yards farther than that if they don't get yardage here. Gaston looking towards the sticks, and it's incomplete. A flag comes in from the back, though. P.J. Hall was the intended receiver. We could be looking at a pass interference call that's going to keep the Robinson drive alive.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Keaton Carter for making a little too much contact at the point of the break of the route. There was some contact at the top of the route, and clearly the back judge decided there was enough to throw the flag. Or maybe not.
No, it's offensive pass interference.
So there was contact at the top of the route, but they're going to say that Hall initiated the contact for Robinson. He had kind of had position. It looked like he was going to have the break to the outside, but give credit to Carter. He was right there. Great coverage on the outside. And decision time for Conway, 4th and 15 or 3rd and 25.
It's an interesting call because you would assume they're going to go for it, right? If you decline it, you got 4th down, but you got 1 more down to play.
It looks like
pass interference.
Push them back.
On the offense. 3rd down.
Yeah, so 3rd and 25 now.
Yeah.
Again, though, but if it's 4-down territory, pick up 10 or 12 yards, and you're back to where you were before that penalty. But that's 2 crucial penalties on this drive that really looks so good for the Senators. And they've done it all on the ground. The passing game really hasn't been much of a factor up to this point, just 10 yards through the air for Joe T.
Gaston is a 60% completion passer. He's thrown for 2,700 yards coming into the game, 38 touchdowns, 7 picks, so he knows how to get the job done. He's probably looking at a passing situation on 3rd and 25. And he is going deep. Boy, plenty of arm in that one. He's got a man in the end zone for the touchdown. It's P.J. Hall.
They ran dueling out and ups, one on each side of the field, and Hall just made the move on Carter. Carter slipped and fell, the Shiloh defensive back, and that is touchdown pass. Pretty easy. 39th of the season, and that's about as easy pitch and catch you're going to get as Hall's in his 18th touchdown catch of the season.
Pretty good numbers for both of the ends of that pass and catch. A 30-yard touchdown. Salvador Gabriel is on to attempt the point after to tie this thing up in the first quarter.
You don't think of 3rd and 25 being something that you're going to pick up on a regular basis, but when you've got a guy like Hall who's averaging 21.2 yards a catch before that one. You know, 3rd and 25 is not quite as daunting.
And how about Gaston's throw, too?
That's perfect, right on the money.
Yeah.
That's called, when you see a one-on-one matchup, whether you've got a double move or safety over the top, you've got a playmaker like Hall. You just let them go out and do their thing on the outside, and they got it done.
Well, we didn't set an over-under coming in, partner, but we certainly thought we'd see some fireworks, and both teams have shown that that's what's going to happen tonight.
We see the offensive numbers so they're up and down the field. 116 yards for Robinson, 158 for Shiloh Christian. You think it'd be a little more high-scoring than 7-7, but you know that's when the levee's holding right now, but the dam may break and the points may come flooding in.
Yeah, Robinson talking to Coach Todd Escola earlier in the week. He said, "Hey, this is one of the fastest defenses he's coached in his time at Robinson." So I know likes his defense. Shiloh's got to like theirs, only giving up about 13 points per game. That's the 3rd fewest in 4A. So maybe it will hold the score down a little bit as we go down to the field and check in with Eric.
Story about JT Towers of Pulaski Robinson. This young man had a car wreck this summer, missed the first couple games of the year. He's still pretty banged up, but he just begged Coach Escola to let him play. He is a warrior, he's a team captain, and he's having surgery tomorrow to fix his foot. Also, 2 years ago, he lost his brother. He's been through a lot as a young man, and just keep your eyes on 7. Now, he just runs around, plays so hard each and every down for these Robinson Senators, and he may be the kind of guy that makes a play to really determine who can win this game.
All right, thank you, Eric. Ben Baker on the return for Shiloh Christian. There is a flag down, though, so that good field position is in jeopardy for the Saints here on their 3rd offensive possession. Yeah, JT Tower, really, that is an overcomer story right there.
Block in the back on the return.
Coach Escola telling us he's been playing about 80% because of how injured he is, and he still has got college offers from Tulsa and ULM. Wait till he gets to 100%, right?
Yeah, it shows you what kind of player he is. If you're 80% and you're playing for a team in the state championship game, that's some talent as you see the penalty there against Shiloh Christian. If you want a copy of any of the state championship games, the 3 from last weekend or the 3 from this weekend, go to M&M Productions to place your order.
All right, so Shiloh faced with having to answer for the first time in this football game. They struck fast and furious in the first 2 minutes of the game. Reese with the handoff to Wiedemann. Wiedemann has room around the edge, but he runs out of real estate at about the 18-yard line. It's about a 4-yard pickup.
That's really what Shiloh Christian wants to do. They want to stretch the field horizontally with the run game. They're not going to bang it between the tackles a whole lot. They don't have much size, especially when you're talking about a team like Robinson. So they're going to try to beat you to the corner and pick up the 5-6 yards and hope they break a big one.
Second and 6. Reese with time, and he connects with Tollett. Down the sidelines he goes, and Truett Tollett has the first down. He's run out of bounds by KJ Merriweather. It's a gain of 15 for the Saints.
Already 6 catches, 7 touches for Tollett. They're going to get him the football. That time it's a crossing route across the middle. The defenders kind of get tangled up with one another, and another big gain for the senior receiver.
Reese moves the pocket, lobs it up again, and again it's Tollett. Tollett at the 47-yard line, and he just finds a way to keep getting open.
I mean, it's amazing what a crisp route runner will do to any defense. No matter how good the coverage is, no matter how many bodies you put on there, if he's where he's supposed to be and Reese puts it on him, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a catch. And so far, it's, 7 out of 8.
If you weren't with us at the Open, we mentioned he's 1 touchdown catch away from tying the state record. Here's the pitch to Ben Baker, and Baker has a good game.
Shiloh Christian, if you want to run behind somebody, Caden Henley just laid somebody out, number 44 for Shiloh Christian, the lead blocker out on that. And they call that a pancake when you're watching film, and he poured some syrup on that one.
got a little sticky.
Just puts him on his back. That's not a play that Robinson's going to want to watch in film next fall.
First down and 10, and once again Shiloh is in plus territory. That's Tollett in motion. They're going to swing it to him. This might be a throw. It is. Tollett going deep up the near sidelines, and look at the receiver come back to catch it. Bo Kaysen with a great adjustment He's marked down inside the 10. It's 1st and goal.
Nice job by Kaysen to see the pass is well underthrown, fights through the defender. Kind of lucky he wasn't called for pass interference. Robinson probably could have drawn a flag on that one as well, but either way, a nice throw and catch by the guy who normally does it on the receiving end.
Kaysen already has a touchdown catch in this football game. And now Shiloh knocking at the doorstep again. There's Tollett again. You got to know where he's going to be. They give it to him again on the inside shovel pass and nowhere to go that time.
Yeah, Shiloh Christian has shown time and time again what they're going to do. They're going to run Tollett in motion and try to have him beat the defender to the goal line. A little quick out right at the goal line, and that time they try to catch the Robinson defense expecting that and reverse field with Tollett, but nice job by the Senator defense. They swallowed that one up.
Yeah, Chandler McIntosh with the stop.
We're going to have to ask what the state record for catches in the game is for too long.
Handoff goes to Raven to the right side to the pylon, and he forces his way across the goal line for the Shiloh score.
Logan Raven is the heavy back, if you want to call him that, for Shiloh Christian. We mentioned he's the tight end, 23 catches on the season, but about 70 carries now on the season with 2 today, about 500 yards, but now 16 touchdowns, and number 9 comes running downhill on you at 6'2", 220 pounds. You don't want to get in the way, and there wasn't much resistance on that.
A 10-yard touchdown run, and now Shiloh with an unorthodox set here that may indicate they're going to go for 2, but now they're going to move back, and they do bring their kicker on. Keaton Carter will try another point after. He came into this game very accurate from there, 75 of 77, so he's only missed 2 on the year. And he sticks another one through the uprights. Final minute of this first quarter in the 4A state championship game. Shiloh is back out in front again.
86 yards, 7 plays in just a minute 39. So that's now 2 scoring drives for Shiloh Christian in this first quarter that cover at least 85 yards, and both took less than 2 minutes. That shows you how quick this pace of offense is for Shiloh Christian. 151 through the air already for Eli Reese and Tollett. 9 touches, over 100 yards. It's pretty impressive what number 3 and number 8 are able to do, and not to mention Tollett's got 33 yards passing.
Well, if you're Robinson, you have the antidote, and that's to keep that Shiloh offense off the field, right? They've got the running game that can burn some clock time.
Yeah,
if you're got to feel like you got to score at the end of every drive.
That's right. You've got to take advantage of drives, which is the exact opposite of kind of what Benton did last week. They were able to move the football up and down the field in the 6A state championship game. So if you're Pulaski Robinson, you run the football, you give it to number 6, Hunter Smith, and you just let him, mow it down the field, because you saw when they took him off the field on that last drive for 2 carries, that's when things started to go back the other direction.
Yeah, he had that long run and came out for a breather, and they got behind the sticks in a hurry. Carter to kick off for Shiloh, a line drive kick, going to be fielded by Martell Nunnally. Nunnally back to the 25. Some nifty footwork to get over the 35-yard line, and he's brought down shy of the 40, but good field position for Robinson here to begin another offensive series.
Elias Hewitt might have saved a touchdown on that for Shiloh Christian. Kind of grubbed him by the back of the jersey, able to get him on the ground, but a nice return there for Pulaski Robinson, and it kind of seems like we've been saying this for 2 weekends in a row. Great starting field position after kickoffs.
Yeah. As if these offenses need that,
exactly.
Right? So here comes Buddy Gaston. Had the touchdown catch the last time he was out there. And Robinson goes back to the pistol formation. They'll give it to Hunter Smith again. Smith looking for room on the outside, and he has to turn it upfield just to get back to the line of scrimmage on what could be the final play of the quarter. Caden Henley makes the stop. Robinson doesn't have to snap it again, but they could.
New for 2020, AETN Sports is bringing you the high school baseball and softball finals in May from Fayetteville. You get the latest updates by signing up for alerts at aetn.org/sports.
2nd and 10. And Robinson going to go before the end of the quarter. Hunter Smith, a lot of contact. He drives his defender forward to get some more positive yardage. But again, it's a short pickup, only about 3 yards. So 3rd and long awaits Robinson. Ethan Schluter made the stop for the Shiloh Saints, and that's going to be the final play of the first quarter.
That one kind of set up something for the option read. Kind of, if Buddy Gaston wants to pull it, that was wide open on the option read there.
We'll be back to War Memorial with the second 12 minutes in the 4A state championship game. You're watching the high school state championships on AETN Sports.
awesome.
We did it!
Oh, no!
Yeah! All right!
All right.
Solid.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory-certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
We begin the second quarter in the 4A state championship game, and Shiloh leads at 14-7.
Welcome back into that title game. Shiloh up by a touchdown, but make sure to watch Garden Homes Christmas, a new first-ever collaboration between AETN and TV host, author, and lifestyle expert P. Allen Smith. Premieres tomorrow, December the 14th at 11 a.m. That's right before the 2A title game.
Gaston has to buy some time, throws behind his intended receiver. That's Nunnally, and it's going to be fourth down, and Robinson's going to be looking at a punting situation here, down a touchdown. They may be looking at a punting situation. I think they're leaving their offensive unit on the field. They are.
Really fortunate for Shiloh Christian, because if he makes the catch with Nunnally there was nobody within 20 yards of him. Looks like Robinson at least going to act like they're trotting the punt team out there, but that could have been a really big play, but Gaston just couldn't hook up with his receiver.
You know, Coach Escola had to really give some thought to it. You know, you can't really afford to punt too many times in a game like this.
But as much success as they've had moving the football, especially running it, 14 points behind, even if they do give up a touchdown here to Shiloh Christian on this drive, not that big of a deficit to somebody as talented as this team.
Hunter Smith is on to punt it, and we're going to get a whistle first.
It's going to be a delay.
Yeah.
On offense.
So if there was any chance of a fake,
yeah,
probably go by the wayside there as it 4th and 12.
And I was going to point out Hunter Smith is one of the punters they use, so it's not necessarily that wild of a look. Buddy Gaston's the other, by the way. So I guess you've always got that threat.
Always the threat. Shiloh Christian look like they're going to come after it.
Tollett's back to return. Low kick. It's going to take a couple of rolls, and Tollett's going to field it with very little real estate to work with, and he's going to be spun out of bounds. He will get about a 2-yard return, and Shiloh will set up around their 31-yard line.
Nice job by Robinson to angle punt that away from Tollett, because you've seen the damage that he can do with the football in his hands, and kind of limits the damage there on the punt return.
See the high hop in the field by Tollett. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Scott and Bobby are talking a lot about True Tollett, and yeah, I'm cool enough to say his nickname is True. But this guy, 6'1", 170, he has taken some punishing hits in this football game, Bobby. You probably pointed that out already, but he's like a rubber man. He is not hurt at all. I was watching him on the sidelines. He just somehow is able to endure a lot of pain, but it could catch up at the end, but it hasn't so far this year. That young man is quite the football player.
Feeling no pain tonight. Last game of the season,
Absolutely.
Last game of his high school career. He could take the biggest shot ever. If he can get back up, he's going to do it.
He has 3 Division II offers, including from OBU. He will have a chance to play on Saturdays next year for sure. On 2nd and down and 10, Reese connects with Kaysen. And Kaysen fumbles the football. I believe that Shiloh fell on it, though.
That's a nice heads-up play.
Sawyer Duddleson.
Yeah, that's right. The offensive lineman on the screen pass, so there's extra bodies out there. That's a huge break for Shiloh Christian, as the offensive lineman, the big right tackle, gets out there and gets on a loose football. Or at least he's lined up on a right tackle on this play.
Well, it was clearly a fumble, as you see on the replay, so Robinson had a chance to get the turnover there. They're going to keep it on the ground on 3rd down and medium, and I believe they're going to get the first down. Logan Rabin, there is a flag down, but Rabin had the yardage necessary to move the sticks, but we'll have to see about the flag.
Holding on offense.
That was thrown in the direction of 72, Sam Oakey, and he just engulfed a Robinson defender. Anytime you're laying on top of a defender, either you dominated him or you kind of threw him to the ground. We'll take a look at the replay. He's the man pulling around right there, lead blocker. And yeah, the hands get a little to the outside there.
little bit of a hug.
A little bit of a hug, but the problem is the defender kind of caused that as he's falling down.
Yep.
The arms get extended, but they're going to call that every time, especially at the point of attack.
Shiloh's 3 out of 4 on 3rd down tonight.
Hey, calling out those offensive linemen.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
never do anything wrong,
They
according
don't.
to you, right?
That's right.
First minute of this second quarter. 4A state championship game in Little Rock. Shiloh scored the first touchdown. Robinson evened it up. And the Saints, as you can see by the score at the bottom of your screen, have gone back up. Now faced with a 3rd down and 12. Reese, plenty of time. Reese with the deep ball upfield, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by P.J. Hall. Hall playing center field, gets it back out to the 49-yard line, his 3rd pick of the year.
Yeah, one thing you can't be in the passing game is late down the middle of the field. Eli Reese hasn't made too many mistakes, had only 103 incompletions all season long. But interception number 7 because he was late throwing the ball down the field, playing safety right down the middle, and that's a play he's going to make every time you throw it up.
So that evens the turnovers at 1 apiece now. And the Robinson Senators with a chance to tie it up.
Got to give credit to Robinson. Their defense, when they needed to, when they get behind, they're making plays. And that one was a pretty easy play by P.J. Hall. He's got 18 touchdown catches. Nice job by Tollett to get him on the ground.
Let's see what Robinson does here. They keep it on the ground or they go to the air. Gaston's the quarterback. Hunter Smith is their all-everything running back. And they're going to try a little trickeration as well with a flip to the end around. And a good gain that time. It'll be close to a 1st down. 9 or 10 yards on the gain. They'll put it right at the stick, so it's going to be 2nd down and maybe less than a yard.
Nice job, just a little flip to the man in motion, gets the guy going full speed, and he's able to pick up near the 1st down. Deontay Moody, excuse me. It's kind of a wrinkle that Shiloh Christian runs a lot, and
they're going to measure to see if it's a 1st down.
And sometimes you just got to put your guy in motion and get a chance if he can beat someone to the outside.
While they bring the sticks out, let's check in with Eric.
Scott and Robbie, can you see me all right? I'm right here with the Senator fan base, and they say they are not going down tonight, right, guys? So many times they've been in this game, and the students certainly came out tonight, and good job, Senator fans. Good job. Give yourself a round of applause.
Well, this crowd has gotten a little bigger as we've seen the game start. It looked a little sparse about 10 minutes before kickoff, but about the time we hit the air, it has started to fill in, especially on the Robinson side. Robinson has, of course, a lot less mileage to put in to get here than Shiloh does.
I guess we're down Highway 10 compared to all the way from Interstate 40 to 49 is a lot closer.
We know there's probably a few Shiloh fans watching us tonight
right.
up in Northwest Arkansas.
Got 2 football teams in the crowd, too. Fordyce on our side. Junction City looks like they're in the top right. They're playing in the 2A championship game tomorrow.
Soaking it all in before their noon kickoff tomorrow. All right, 2nd down and less than a yard. Hunter Smith is the Robinson running back. They'll fake it to him. Here's Gaston hit as he throws. He throws underneath and almost intercepted.
It's a big shot. The 2nd time Gaston takes a blow as soon as he delivers it. Walker Williams delivered the hammer on that one. And that was a little underthrown, and luckily that wasn't picked off.
Martell Nunnally, the intended receiver. But you're right. Shiloh had a chance at another turnover.
Yeah, Keaton Carter almost makes the play. Then the receiver for Nunnally, Robinson, almost makes the play. Really some good football there. I like that the play action on 2nd and short. You still got 2 chances to pick it up, take a shot down the field.
This Shiloh team good at takeaways. They're plus 11 on turnover margin on the year. Handoff Smith, nowhere to go. On 3rd and less than a yard, he won't get it. Caden Henley came up from his linebacker spot, a 6'1", 200-pound sophomore.
We're starting to see something from Shiloh's defense. They're starting to bring pressure, and they're having success. Whether it's Jacob Gill, the defensive coordinator, or somebody else dialing it up, they're saying, hey, Robinson doesn't have enough to block us, so we're going to bring some extra bodies, and that's back-to-back big plays and big hits delivered by the Saints defense.
So the Senators had 2nd down and less than a yard, and now it's 4th down and 2, and they're going to go. Gaston with time out of the backfield. It's Smith for the 1st down and out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
That's a nice job. That's a great play call. You get your best running back, your best weapon offensively out in the wide open space. Shiloh doesn't go with him to the outside. Easy pitch and catch and a fresh set of downs.
That's a big conversion for Robinson early in this game.
You're hoping you can get there before Gaston get the pass off for Shiloh Christian, but not nearly enough pressure to alter the throw, and that's a pretty easy job there for the offense.
That's what it's all about tonight for both these quarterbacks. If they've got time, they're showing us that they can pick you apart. Gaston buys some time with his legs. Dumps it over the middle. It's incomplete. A dangerous throw. Deontay Moody was the intended receiver. I thought he was going to throw it away. Looking at the coverage there, he didn't have much.
Yeah, after seeing that, he may want to throw it away. 25 for Shiloh gets the hand on it. That's Keaton Carter, but the safety coming behind him. Mac McEwen really might have made the interception if this ball's not deflected. You see so many blue jerseys right there behind it. That's a really big break for Robinson. That's just one thing you can't do, Scott. No matter what level you're playing, high school, college, pros, you can't be late throwing the football, especially back across your body like that. Really fortunate for Robinson. They get to live to fight it down.
That's the risk of throwing on first down, as you could be faced with 2nd and 10. The handoff on the ground, Hunter Smith, and that's a minimal gain, about 2 yards on the pickup. Shiloh all over the place on that play. One of the first guys there, Cooper Hutchinson, from his safety spot.
You know, Smith's been really impressive at the point of contact. You know, avoiding big hits, avoiding the first tackler there, able to fall forward. It looks like he's going to get dropped in the backfield, but instead he picks up 2 or 3 yards, and Robinson's in a manageable 3rd down at about 7.
Got to figure it's still 4-down territory for the Senators. 3rd and 7 inside the Shiloh 30. Boy, all day to throw for Gaston. Now he is flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be slung down back at the 31-yard line. A tackle in the backfield and a sack by Ethan Sloiter. And Coach Escola, you could see, I was about to say the same thing. Yeah. Was that a horse collar tackle?
Yeah, it looked like the hand was inside the back collar. There's a quarterback inside the pocket. That's not a penalty, but on the scramble there, I think Shiloh Christian is very fortunate that they weren't called for a penalty. Ethan Sluter there, the defensive end, the senior, not whistled for the horse collar tackle. Either way, a big defensive stop for the Saints as they're faced now to 4th and 10.
Here it is again on replay.
You see the hands inside. The back of the jersey tugged down. A lot of times you're going to get that call.
4th down again. And the Senators are going to talk things over.
You hate to say a play with 8 minutes left in the first half is big, but maybe for confidence, maybe for momentum, this really well could be it, because you forced a turnover for Robinson. You want to be able to take advantage of that huge momentum swing. But right now this is a critical down at 4th, and it looks like a little longer than 10 as the yard marker behind the sticks.
Well, you mentioned it earlier too, Bobby. If they do go down 2 scores at some point, certainly they have the firepower to come back. It's not the end of the world, but from a momentum standpoint, this is indeed a big 4th down. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Scott, you described it perfectly. Coach Escola beside himself on no horse collar right there, because Robinson is just desperate to get this game tied and just can't seem to get a little flow on the pass and the run. Every time they get some good runs, Shiloh has adjusted and shut them down, and then they go back to the pass. And you're right, Bobby. Buddy Gaston is throwing across his body a lot because of the pressure. So really like to see them get back to the ground. They're eating clock right now, and I've already spotted 2 former Senators that are pretty well-known Razorbacks. Coylin Jackson on the sideline, and one T.J. Hammonds here to support their alma mater here at Robinson Senators. So good to see those guys at the game.
Yeah, absolutely, Eric. Thank you. Good eye down there on the sidelines. Here we go. 4th down and 10 at the Shiloh 30-yard line. Saints leading at 14-7. Gaston over the middle. It's caught, but it's short of the first down. P.J. Hall is hit immediately at the 23-yard line, and the Saints are going to take over on downs.
A great play by Caden Henley, the sophomore linebacker, in the right spot. Of course, they run the long twist up front, but Henley right in the middle of the field. He's in charge of anybody who comes in his space, and that is a great one-on-one tackle right there. Wraps up the legs. He can go nowhere and stopped well short of the sticks. A big stop for the Shiloh defense.
Well, how about that for a little momentum stopper? Robinson had forced the turnover, but now they turn it over on downs, and Shiloh goes back to work with a touchdown lead. Eli Reese moving the pocket to the left side. And the catch is made by Truett Tollett. Can it just be assumed from this point on it's number 8?
He's got 9 catches. They've got 15 completions, so maybe you can start to assume that Tollett's going to be the go-to guy. But, again, if you're going to let him have the ball 5 yards, they're going to take that every time.
9 catches, and we're not halfway through the second quarter.
Over 100 yards already.
Man.
101 for Tollett.
Still doesn't have the touchdown yet. We're waiting on that to tie the state record, and Reese is under pressure, and he just has to drop it and dump it. His nearest receiver would have been Logan Rabin there, number 9, but good pressure off the edge for Robinson.
Yeah, trying to set up the screen, had to loft it over there, dangerous pass, but it falls harmlessly to the ground. I want to give a big special thank you to Corky's Ribs and Barbecue for catering. They've got restaurants in Little Rock and North Little Rock, and you know, if Reese has time there, Scott, that may be a big play because the caravan of blue and gold was out in front, and there wasn't a whole lot of white jerseys to slow it down. But that's why you call the blitz in a moment like that.
3rd down and 7. Robinson shows blitz. Here they come. Then they get to Reese. Down he goes at the 23-yard line.
That's the guy Eric talked about, our JT Towers, able to get there, and the pocket collapsed. They brought the extra pressure, and Reese had no time to get the ball down the field, and Shiloh looks like they're going to have to punt for the first time.
Well, you kind of sense now the defenses are settling in here.
Yeah.
We were talking about what a shootout this could be with 2 high-powered offenses as Caleb Anderson comes on to punt it away. First time we've said his name because they haven't punted yet.
Yeah, these defenses have heard all week how great these offenses are. Sometimes players make plays and shut it down.
James Jordan, the man deep for Robinson, but he'll leave it alone. And it's going to go out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and that's where Robinson will start. There's still lots of time left here in this first half.
So now for Robinson, go back to what's working. Running game. Hunter Smith, 10 carries, 83 yards. He's the only one with positive yardage on the ground. 6 of 10 passing. They do have the one miscue with the interception, but Hunter Smith averaged nearly 9 yards a carry. I'd say you give it to number 6, and let's see what he can do. As I say that, he's not even in the backfield. Dynamite drop in there, Bobby.
There he is. Yeah, he's in there now. But they're going to go to the air. Gaston under pressure, and he throws it sidelines. It's a great catch made inbounds at the 39-yard line. Won't be for a lot of yardage, but boy, give P.J. Hall a lot of credit for making that grab.
Yeah, give Gaston some credit, too. He felt some contact there. Norsworthy, the big defensive tackle from Shiloh Christian, got a hand on the quarterback, but able to break free for just long enough to get the football out. And you're exactly right. A great hands catch, gets a foot down. Of course, in high school and college, you only need 1 foot down. It's a great play to turn a -5 into a +4.
Yeah, to know where you are on the field. That's a hard thing to do as a receiver, be able to catch the football and keep a foot in, and he did a great job. Great balancing act. Out of the pistol, it's Hunter Smith again. Left side, hit in the backfield. He'll spin for positive yardage across the 40-yard line, so it's a 2-yard gain for Smith, but boy, Sluter was right there to hit him before he even reached the line of scrimmage.
Shiloh Christian's doing a lot of things pre-snap. They're moving their defensive linemen, trying to get Robinson to jump. And the 4 or 5 times we've seen the Saints linebackers pointing at the offensive line like they saw a flinch. But up to this point, they've only got that call 1 time.
Coach Escola told us they would do that. Twists and stunts up front, exotic pressure packages. It's a very sophisticated defense that you're seeing on the field there. Gaston's going to throw. Here comes the pressure again. Smith runs out of it and throws incomplete behind his intended receiver at the 49-yard line. That was P.J. Hall again.
That's a great dial-up by the defense for Shiloh Christian. They overload the left side, force Gaston to get on the run. Still had a chance to make a play, but you move the quarterback who's normally in the pocket to roll to his right, try to make a throw on the run, and the Senators can't get the job done.
All of a sudden, the punters are starting to take center stage in this offensive game.
Just like we planned it. So you've got 402 yards of total offense with just 21 points combined through a quarter and a half.
It's going to be DJ Withers lined up at punter for Robinson on this play. He hits one over to the left that gets a great roll.
It's one of those worm burners off the tee, but it ends up rolling about 100 extra yards for you.
That's what I count on off the tee.
I just count on hitting the ball, or hope to at least.
Well, back-to-back punts. Did you expect we'd see that tonight?
I wasn't sure that we were going to see 2 punts total in this one, so back-to-back is a little shocking.
A 14-7 game midway through the second quarter.
Did you know that AETN offers the 24/7 PBS Kids channel both over the air and via the free PBS Kids app? PBS prepares young children for school and is the #1 children's educational brand. Share PBS Kids with the kids that you love.
Cam Wiedemann is the running back in the backfield with Reese as Shiloh goes back to work. Reese, nowhere to go. He's going to try to keep it and edges back close to the line of scrimmage, and that's as far as he got.
Yeah, it's a coverage sack right there. He may get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he called a no game, but Reese was looking for his target. It's going to be at the top of the screen, but he was double covered. Tollett had a man-to-man and a safety over the top, so Reese had to tuck it down, and now it's 2nd and 10.
You got to watch these running backs out of the backfield. We've talked so much about Tollett. The top 2 running backs on the team came in with 72 combined catches. They'll get the ball to these running backs, and they do here. It's Wiedemann on the pitch. Wiedemann tries to cut it back upfield, and it's a short gain. Jonathan Blackman, the nose guard, makes the stop after a 3-yard pickup.
That's a nice job by 71 and White to get the big 235-pound frame out into the flat and kind of corral Wiedemann and force Shiloh Christian into a 3rd and long. You know, both of these defenses have weathered the early storm. We saw a ton of big plays the first 2 drives from both ways, but the defense rising to the occasion. We'll see if the Senators can get off the field.
Shiloh 3 of 6 on 3rd down. Here comes the pressure. Reese throws low, and it's caught by Tollett again, and that's going to be a 1st down.
3 defenders around Tollett. Everybody in the stadium, everybody watching on TV knows who's getting the football. And Eli Reese still threads it in there. And Tollett able to go down and make the catch right above the turf. That's a great throw and catch. I mean, perfectly defended, but perfect execution on the offense.
Moving the pocket again, Reese, nowhere to go with the football, so he's going to be brought down, and that's going to be a sack because it's behind the sticks. There is a flag down on the far side of the field.
Yeah, Robinson tried to run somebody on late, so it's going to be either a legal substitution or too many men. In high school, you've got to get inside the numbers before they snap the football, otherwise it's going to be a legal substitution. So I'm kind of guessing that's what this is going to be.
Back to that pace.
That's right.
That Shiloh presents.
It's been a couple times that Robinson was nowhere near set defensively, that time included, and it's going to cost him 5. A little longer discussion than you might expect, though.
Here's Paul Fuller.
Allegedly.
Hey. Illegal substitution on the defense.
That's where the pace comes into play. Sometimes it gets you a misalignment. Sometimes it's a busted coverage. That time it's the free 5 yards, so they're trying to run somebody late on the field. And that's why you do the pace. 1, it wears out a defense, but 2, it causes mental mistakes like that one.
1st down and 5, and it's Wiedemann looking for room on the edge. And coughs up the football. It's picked up in stride by Robinson. DJ Withers down the sidelines.
Withers in the right place at the right time. The ball pops out of Wiedemann right into the hands of Withers, and he knows what to do with it. Picks up a big chunk of yardage, but that's a huge break for Pulaski Robbins because it looks like they're on the move. But Shiloh Christian's 2nd turnover of this 1st half has the Senators in perfect field position.
Robinson turned it over 1st in this game.
A lot of flying arms at the football. Wiedemann's fighting for extra yardage, but sometimes you just got to go down and take what you've got. And it looked like it might have been 17 for Robinson. Too many arms, but Lucas Rawling might have got an arm on that football.
So 2 takeaways for the Senators, but so far they haven't been able to convert. And now another flag pre-snap, and Robinson started early.
Yeah,
Dead ball. False start. Offense.
It's the stunting up front by Shiloh Christian. They're hoping to get those guys flinching, and after you see it a couple times, you expect to see it, but here we are midway through the 2nd quarter, and Shiloh Christian gets a free 5 yards against the offense.
So we've had 3 turnovers so far. I don't think we have any points off turnovers. I don't think either team has taken advantage of the turnovers.
You are correct. Well, Robinson has a chance to change that here, but the defense is kind of bowing their neck. You like to see these big-time plays on the other side of the football, if you will.
Gaston hands to Smith. Smith gets inside the 30-yard line, but he's still shy of the original line of scrimmage. The tackle made by Max Suarez.
I think a lot of the credit that we've seen really in the last 15 minutes of game action, Scott, has to go to these defensive coaches and the defensive players because they weathered the storm. They took the first big blow, and they've settled in nicely.
It's going to be second down and 13 now as the clock drops under 4 minutes in the second quarter. Pistol formation again. The fake to Smith. Pump fake. Gaston going end zone. He had a man, and it's caught for the touchdown. A one-handed grab by Martell Nunnally. Got behind the Shiloh defense, and Robinson an extra point away from tying the ball game.
What an outstanding catch, but what a throw. And you see the double pump there. It looked like it might have been a double move. The post was wide open. The Shiloh safety kind of bit on that first throw, that pump fake, if you will, and left his receiver wide open, and a great catch at the back of the end zone.
Nunnally's 9th touchdown catch of the year. And the extra point by Gabriel. Knots it at 14 apiece. We got a 4A final that you're going to want to stay tuned for the rest of. We'll be back after this to War Memorial Stadium. You're watching the State Football Championships on AETN Sports.
Hi, Roger Scott for Big Red Stores. Big Red Stores is proud to support high school athletics and to sponsor these high school championship games. Over 40 Big Red Stores are located throughout Central Arkansas, each one staffed with our team members who have participated in games, marched in the band, or led the spirit teams in cheers. And now we are pleased to bring families, schools, and communities together. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever. Enjoy the games.
I grew up waiting for the nights during the week when Nova would be on because I was so deeply interested in science.
We haven't seen anything like this before.
And it was inspiring for me as a young person to be able to learn about it in the masterful way that Nova presents it, and with Ken Burns. And I learned so much about the Civil War, not only the facts of the war, but the feel of the war. PBS has a way of educating, informing, and entertaining the public that I don't think anybody can match.
It's more unbelievable than anything we could have imagined.
Well, welcome back inside War Memorial Stadium. Pulaski Robinson just tied the game up with Shiloh Christian 14 apiece. You have a young rider in the family. The PBS Kids Riders Contest begins January 1st. It's easy to submit online at aetn.org/riders contest. Let's send it down to the sideline. Eric Sullivan.
Here's Baker. Baker on the kickoff return finds room to midfield. He's still going into Robinson territory, and how about that for an answer on the Shiloh special teams. Baker, who has a 99-yard touchdown on a kickoff return, but this one may be erased. There's a flag down back at the 33-yard line.
It's the second big kickoff return for Shiloh Christian. It looks like it's going to be wiped out because of penalty, but that one, a huge momentum killer.
Block below the waist on the return team.
That wipes out a 54-yard kickoff return. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Martell Nunnally, who is a guy that kind of gets overshadowed on this Senator offense. We all know about Hunter Smith. We all know about P.J. Hall. But quietly, Martell Nunnally's had a great year. That was his 9th touchdown catch. And all throughout the sidelines in that second quarter, Coach Escola working with his quarterback, Buddy Gaston. He had some rough throws there early, but showing that he's been in this game before, steps up, throws that strike. And, hey, we got a tie ball game as of right now, guys.
All right, Eric, thanks very much. Yeah, that kickoff return backs, or that penalty rather, on the kickoff return, backs Shiloh back up into the 19-yard line. And that's where they'll start. Here comes Eli Reese and company.
About a 60-yard swing in field position.
Here's Wiedemann. Wiedemann shuffles through a big offensive lineman hole, but boy, the linebacking core doing its job. J.T. Towers with a big stick.
I like the play call for Jeff Conaway. Just fumble the football, go back to him, show you've got confidence in your running back.
It's a 4-yard pickup. And again, a big lick laid on at the end of that run. 2nd down and 6 for the Saints. Reese, nowhere to go. Now he hits his safety valve. And that's Tollett, but he has nowhere to go. Maybe even lost yardage, and another big hit for the Robinson defense. Todd Escola telling us earlier this week, their defense wants their opponent to know they played them. They pride themselves on hitting hard and being physical, and that's evident in the last 2 plays.
Yeah, that one was going to be a tunnel screen to either side. It looked like Reese had a choice to go left or right. That time he tries to come back to the right side. Again, Tollett, his safety valve, if you will, 11 catches, but now 3rd and long again for the Saints.
3rd down and 7. Wiedemann out of the backfield in motion. Reese sets up, fires over the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted again. This time it's Chandler McIntosh, the linebacker.
What a play by McIntosh right in the middle of the field. He's kind of a quarterback spy, if you will.
We think it might have been tipped. Let's see on the replay.
Either way, right place at the right time. You can kind of see him in the middle of your screen right there. He was just, kind of eyeing Reese. Our arm was hit, but there it is. McIntosh making a great play. Maybe take another look at that, make sure he's secured possession on that. But either way, a great play in the middle of the defense, and Robinson, again, has great field position.
That's the 3rd Shiloh Christian turnover of this half. 2 have happened at least, and maybe all 3 in their own territory. Play fake to Smith. Gaston throws it away.
Yeah, it's another time Gaston got hit right before he let the football go. Again, that was the big linebacker, Caden Henley.
Trying to remember that 3rd turnover, if it was in their own end too. I know 2 of them have been. That first pick might have been on the other end, though. I can't remember. But 3 turnovers. Robinson has converted a touchdown off of 1 of them, and this one still a question mark. 2:17 left on the 2nd quarter clock. Robinson has not led in the football game, but they have a big opportunity to take their first lead. Under pressure is Gaston again, and he throws it away. So back-to-back plays, he has to throw it away, and it's a 3rd down and 10. Credit to Shiloh pressure. That time coming from Hunter Mason.
Yeah, Jeff Conaway pleading with the officials, saying that should have been intentional grounding. Maybe Gaston didn't get out of the tackle box, but the white hat right there to make the call. He did roll to his right a little bit. The ball was past the line of scrimmage. I think that's probably a clean play.
Both teams have burned 1 timeout.
The flag does come out.
Oh, it sure did.
As late as this was, this could be a sideline warning, though.
Okay, unintentional grounding.
There it is.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty, loss of down.
So why that's so big, Scott, and why Conaway pleaded his case and actually won that is because it's not just a loss of down, but it's a 5-yard penalty from where he threw the football. And so it's going to end up being a pretty significant blow to a Robinson team that thought they were going to have great field position. I'll say that, and they give him a 2nd and 15.
Well, it should be a 3rd down, right? They did give him the down over again because it was a 2nd down throw.
Yeah, you're correct.
It was going to be 3rd down and 10. Now we've got it. 3rd down and 15. They finally turn it over. Gaston complete on the short pass to Hall, and Hall gets back to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage, and he's wrestled back there, and it's going to be 4th down. That's going to make Pulaski Academy 1 of 6 on 3rd down, but they knew they had 4th down coming up, and they knew they were going to likely go for it.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that you call knowing that, hey, we've got 2 downs to pick up the 15, and a really well-timed screen pass because Shiloh was bringing a ton of pressure from up the middle, able to get the ball out and get back to the original line of scrimmage, but another 3rd or 4th and long. We've seen a lot more of these than we kind of expected in this contest.
Robinson allowing the clock to run a little bit here, too. I think that's important because if they don't convert this 4th down, you don't give Shiloh as much time to go down and score. Again, both teams with 2 timeouts, and now one's going to be burned.
Yeah, that's important. That's a great point, Scott, because if you don't pick up this 1st down the way Shiloh Christian uses the tempo, a minute 23 with 2 timeouts left is a ton of time.
So they let the play clock run down and then call it with 1:23 on the clock as we go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Yeah, Scott and Bobby, Coach Conaway really made that call. He was in the ref's ear completely on the intentional grounding. And Adam DePriest, who's the offensive coordinator, has got a lot of ties to Pulaski Academy here in Little Rock. So those two were just wearing the ref out about how unintentional that was, intentional grounding that was, so to speak. So a good job by those guys. And a quick shout out to Coach Adam DePriest, we went to high school together back in Armenia days. So doing a good job here.
Impressive.
Well, it's interesting you bring up that tie-in, Eric, to Pulaski Academy. When we talked to Coach Escola this week, he said Shiloh reminds him of Pulaski Academy with the formations they run, the short dink and dunk passing game, and then they go up top, not afraid to take a shot with a deep ball. A lot of similarities there.
There is, and what we saw with Pulaski Academy, and Little Rock Christian wasn't able to stop it, and Shiloh's had some success, but Robinson slowed it down, is making players make plays in space, especially on defense. Shiloh Christian likes to put a lot of pressure on the flats, but Robinson's doing a nice job so far.
Best defense for Robinson is to keep their offense on the field. It's 4th down and 10. They're going to pull a reverse and then the flip back to quarterback Gaston. He's got a man towards the end zone. Touchdown, Robinson. Hunter Smith out of the backfield.
A great dial-up for Robinson. It looks like a reverse and then kind of caught up with the theatrics in the backfield, and Gaston right there delivers a perfect strike to his running back who had a couple steps, and Gaston now with his 3rd touchdown pass in this first half.
Hunter Smith just his 6th catch of the year, Bobby, so they didn't see that one coming.
They didn't see it coming. This is the time you pull out all the stops. You know, I know it's cliche to say it, but there is no tomorrow.
The extra point is no good by Salvador Gabriel, though, and that will keep it a 6-point Robinson lead with 1:16 to go.
I like the play call. I mean, you can't save it. You need some momentum. You force the turnover. You want to reward your defense by getting points off of the turnover, and that's just perfectly executed, but also credit to those big linemen. That's a long time to keep a pass protection going and gives the time to get the ball back to the quarterback, Gaston, and he, again, delivers a perfect strike.
Robinson looking for their first state championship since 1980. It's their only state championship. They were here a year ago and lost to Arkadelphia. Shiloh last year lost to Arkadelphia in the semifinals, so they had a really good chance to be here last year, but Arkadelphia ends up taking the title.
I know Shiloh Christian was a little short-handed in that semifinal matchup. I believe they were leading receiver from a year ago. I believe that's Jarrett Russ, if my memory serves me correctly. I've covered a lot of football games between now and then. Knocked out of the game because of appendectomy.
Yeah.
And so it was just one of those things where he wasn't available and Shiloh went down. I'm not saying that's why Arkadelphia won or why Shiloh lost, but it is something that the Saints have had in their back pocket, and they know that they had a really good chance of being here in Little Rock a season ago.
Gabriel sets to kick off for Robinson.
Got to give a shout out to Casey Reap. Listening to the game, I asked the question, what's the record for most catches in a state championship game? Slade Camp, 23 catches in a championship game back in 2001.
My goodness.
He was a really good player for Ouachita Baptist.
This is going to be fielded by Baker. He had a great return, erased by penalty. He's got another seam, though. But this time Robinson closes it at about the 40-yard line. A 30-yard kickoff return. Baker is dangerous in the open field on that kickoff.
Yeah, if they take care of the football, this is well more than enough time for Shiloh Christian. 70 seconds left, 2 timeouts, just 60 yards to cover. As long as they get out of their own way, as we've seen, they can move the football and have some success.
Eli Reese, the quarterback. They move the pocket a lot with Reese, and he throws sidelines. And a nice scoop made right at the first down yard. Nope, they're going to say it's incomplete. It was intended for Tollett. Thought maybe he dug it out, but it's an incomplete pass.
It's not many times as those two aren't going to hook up when he's that wide open. That may be the most open he's been in some time. You can see the ball.
There
it comes out at the end.
I was going to say. Yeah.
I'm not going to put our perfect record on that. If that's challenged, I'm not making an answer.
That's right. 2nd down and 10. Pressure by Robinson. Reese looks to set up the screen, and he connects with Rabin, and Rabin takes it to the 47-yard line. He's inbounds, though, and the clock continues to run.
That may actually benefit Shiloh Christian, because if they don't pick up this 3rd down and the clock continues to run, you don't give Robinson the football back. You don't think of that with a minute left, but the way these two offenses have kind of gone up and down the field lately, that's a big break.
Shiloh's 4 out of 8 on 3rd down tonight. This is 3rd and short. Here comes Robinson with the blitz, and the throw complete right at the marker to Tollett. Depending on the spot, we'll see if he gets it or not.
It looked like the initial mark was going to be a 1st down, but now
Let's see.
The eagle eye, not so much. It looks like they're going to bring out the chains.
Chandler McIntosh making a critical stop for the Senators on that play.
Came into this game with 197 tackles. Did McIntosh.
That's incredible.
That's a number I can't fathom.
And the guy across from him at linebacker, J.T. Towers, listed with 160 tackles. 357 between the two linebackers.
That's a lot of stops between two players.
Big measurement.
They have an index card?
Wow, it's that close. Obviously, you'd think, well, I would imagine Shiloh's still going to go for this. 23 seconds. If you don't get it, Robinson can take a shot at the end zone. But with it being so short, with it being less than a foot, you got to think you're going to do a little quick snap to the quarterback and get the first down. And then you're going to have to probably burn your timeout.
Yeah, because you got to remember the clock's going to start as soon as they blow this ready for play as well, because he's brought down inbounds. And so if you're Shiloh Christian, you run something really quick and you call the timeout because it will stop for the moving of the chains, the first down. If you get the first down, but this is going to be a pretty quick thing. As soon as they blow this whistle, if you're Shiloh Christian, you got to be ready to snap the football. And vice versa, got to be ready if you're Robinson to get off the ball.
And again, a field goal likely not on the table here. Rabin gets the handoff. Boy, I don't know. His helmet got back to the 50. It's going to depend on the spot.
7 seconds ticked off the clock there, but again, we're going to see where they mark it. It looked like this one moved backwards.
Yeah, that's going to be a turnover on downs. And I think it's probably the right spot. Well, let's see. He may have crossed the plane. That was close.
Yeah,
that was close.
Again, this is something that Shiloh Christian could call timeout, I believe, if they really want to challenge this. But I think they're going to be content with just 16 seconds left. Hope their defense makes a stop and gets into the locker room with just a 6-point deficit.
All right, so Robinson gets the football back with 16 seconds left at midfield with one timeout.
It's a big play for the Shiloh defense. You got to make sure you put nothing over your head.
Gaston flushed out. He's going to run it. He has lots of space. He's got time to get down. Now, remember, one timeout here. One timeout for Robinson.
And they call it here.
Yeah, because there's 9 seconds on the clock. So they didn't want to take a chance of the clock starting back up.
So there's a couple of different scenarios you can do here. If you're Robinson, you can take a shot at the end zone, and maybe it takes up all 9 seconds, or you can try something 10, 15 yards out, hope it takes 4 or 5, and then you get a chance from about the 20.
Hey, we want to remind you to stay with us for the AETN halftime show with Ed Leon. He's AETN's chief operating officer, and he's going to have a look at the importance of sportsmanship and the decades-long across-the-street rivalry in Fort Smith. Few streets in between them, but still, very, very close rivalry there that you know very well in Fort Smith.
The Battle of Rogers Avenue was one of the best in all of Arkansas, that's for sure. They're going to have a much different feel to it next year.
Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Scott and Bobby, that is about as close as you can get to being a first down, but I give it to the refs. They had it right, and you could have put an index card through there. So good job by the officiating staff. And look for my man P.J. Hall back at the end zone over here by me and Roger Scott. How about that?
That's the hot take. Say they're going to throw it to the guy with 18 touchdown catches this year. One note, Robinson gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah.
I got to take my shots at Eric when I can, so there's one.
How many are we going to – where's the over-under on that today?
Wow, that's something that Vegas wouldn't touch.
All right, here we go. Could be the final play of the half. Gaston sets up, buys time, fires it towards the sidelines, and that is going to be caught, but there is a flag down.
There is a jersey tug there. So they make it Shiloh Christian. Either way, there's still time left on the clock, but a defensive penalty, they would get an extra down no matter what.
Well, the official, I thought, indicated he caught it, but I'm not sure now whether he caught it or not. It was incomplete.
Holding on the defense.
Wow. Still 3 seconds left.
There was some definite separation between shoulder pad and jersey. So that was the tug that we could see all the way up here in the press box. But it's a big break for Robinson, the incomplete pass, but still some separation and at least one shot at the end zone from 25 yards out. And then I don't hate to give him credit, but Eric's right. I mean, you've got receivers like P.J. Hall and Martell Nunnally on the outside combined for 27 touchdowns on the season. You've got some options and you've got some weapons. Let's see if Shiloh Christian brings a little extra pressure.
Here we go. Pressure is on. They'll throw it short, and that's going to be the final play of the half.
They tried to get Hunter again on the outside. They scored once throwing to the running back, kind of leaked him out there, but nice job by Shiloh Christian making the play just inside the 20, and kind of like we expected, this is going to be a heavyweight fight, but just maybe a little lower scoring than anticipated.
Fantastic first half. Turnovers, touchdowns, and some pretty good defense right in the middle of all of that. It's a 20-14 Robinson lead at the intermission. And we go down to the sidelines. Eric is standing by with Coach Escola.
All right, Scott, Coach Escola, Shiloh gets out pretty fast, but you got to be very proud of your defense. You forced 3 turnovers, and you got the lead back. What did your defense figure out there?
Just settle down and play football. I mean, 2 great football teams. We had a couple of coverage breaks early, but the kids are playing hard, and just got to keep it up.
All right, what's your message at this half? You've been in this game before. A lot of your players have been in this game before. What are you telling them?
Just keep playing. Relax. We made some mistakes early, again, offensively and defensively, even special teams. So just settle down and play football.
Coach, good luck. Thank you. All right, Scott and Bobby, back to you guys.
All right, Eric, thanks very much. You heard Coach Escola mention it there. They just settled down, and the defenses did settle in the middle part of this half, but the turnovers really could be justifiably the difference in the game, and that's why the Senators have a 6-point halftime lead. We're back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment. You're watching the high school state championships on AETN Sports.
As time passes and the years go by, change is something we all experience. But no matter how the world changes from year to year, the one thing that will never change is the true meaning of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
One of the best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at mylehunterbank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
The Robinson Senators looking for their first state championship since 1980. They were here 12 months ago and lost to Arkadelphia. They have a 6-point lead at the intermission on the Shiloh Christian Saints as we welcome you back in to our broadcast booth here at halftime. And I really feel like this has been a little bit of everything, Bobby. We've had 2 lines going at it, a slugfest. The offensive lines have won some battles, gotten some good run game going. The defensive line has been able to put some pressure on the quarterbacks at times. But the other thing is you got playmakers on both sides of the football.
And this is kind of what we expected. We expected a track meet up and down. We just thought there would be more points, over 500 yards of total offense between these 2 teams. But the defense have been stepping up and making huge plays when they matter the most. And you got to give a lot of credit to Robinson. They came out and took 2 huge blows on the first drive of the game, 2 30-plus yard passing plays. A lot of times you're going to see breakdowns that a lot against the Shiloh offense, but they've done a nice job adjusting to it, and they weathered the early storm.
They want to get the ball, both teams, into their playmakers' hands. And we talked about 2 guys at the open. We talked about Truett Tollett for Shiloh. We talked about Hunter Smith for Pulaski Robinson. That's the game plan.
Exactly right. Starting with Shiloh Christian, that first drive, it seemed like he caught everything except for the touchdown pass. 11 catches already, about halfway to the state championship game record, but they've kept everything in front other than that first big play for Tollett, just 110 yards receiving. But on the other side, Hunter Smith, we've seen he didn't have a lot of catches coming into it. They're finding new ways to get him the football because Shiloh's keying on him, so they're kind of moving their eyes and getting the ball to him out of the backfield through the passing game as well.
You credited in the first half, the defensive coaches, the adjustments they made, they got their guys on the same page, they settled in. What's going on at halftime now? Because do you change much? You played pretty well in the first half, but you're going to have to continue to adjust inside the game.
I don't think you change much if you're either coach. I mean, you're looking at Shiloh Christian, you're behind, and you're saying, okay, how are you saying you're not going to change anything? We got to remember, they've given up 2 short fields, Shiloh Christian. They've been on the defensive all season, all second half, really, in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Long, and so Robinson has made the adjustments. They've kept everything in front. They've really limited the Shiloh running game to nothing. They know they're going to throw the football. They're doing a nice job of getting pressure on Eli Reese without having to bring extra rushers, and that's allowing guys to drop into coverage.
And a quick shout out to the defensive backs on both sides too.
Absolutely.
There's been some pretty good pass coverage in this game. Obviously, there have been a lot of pass yards, but they've broken up some. A couple of interceptions you've seen in the first half. Been a great first half, and we are looking forward to bringing you the second half here from War Memorial Stadium. But it's halftime. You can see the band making its way out onto the field, and the AETN halftime show's coming up next. I want you to stay tuned. Ed Leon's up next with a couple of great stories, one on sportsmanship and one on that decades-long rivalry in Fort Smith between Southside and Northside. We'll see you back here for the second half. You're watching the High School State Football Championships on AETN Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Welcome inside to halftime at AETN Studios. I'm your host, Ed Leon. We hope you're enjoying our broadcast of the state football finals from War Memorial Stadium here on AETN. Coming up, you'll hear from Arkansas student athletes, and we'll catch you up on all the first half stats. But first, we begin with rivalries. Crosstown rivalries are commonplace, but what about when the rival is right across the street? In Fort Smith, they call it the Battle of Rogers Avenue, the ongoing rivalry since 1963 between Fort Smith Northside and Fort Smith Southside. Our own Chuck Dovish filed this report.
In the early 1960s, when Fort Smith High separated into 2 schools, Fort Smith Northside and Fort Smith Southside, it kicked off not only one of the greatest rivalries in Arkansas, but in the nation as well.
At the time, we were the only city in Arkansas that had 2 high schools that competed just against each other. And that was in 1963 when I moved to Fort Smith. It was just a great rivalry from the very beginning, a natural rivalry. We have Rogers Avenue that kind of runs down the middle of Fort Smith, and the newspaper people would refer to it as the Battle of Rogers Avenue.
It is very neat. I think back, say 10 or 15 years ago, the Sporting News went out and did a survey on what the biggest rivals were in each state, and came out, most people thought Arkansas and Texas, or different, UCA, Arkansas Tech, or Henderson State, Ouachita Baptist, but it came out it was Fort Smith Southside versus Fort Smith Northside, and it's a great rival. It's a great thing to be a part of. I've got to experience it for the last 15 or 16 years. And
the longest running in the state.
Yeah, been here for 16 years, and it's the longest reign anybody else in the state of Arkansas. And Southside's a great place, but this game it's so much fun for our community. It's so much fun for each student bodies, and it doesn't matter what your record is. We played in this deal where one team didn't have a great record, and the other team was having a good year, or both teams weren't having a good year, or both teams were having a great year. It doesn't matter. You can throw it all out the window, and it's just a lot of fun.
This rivalry is so intense that it made the NFL's Great American Rivalry Series, first in 2010 when Southside won, and then again in 2016 when Northside was the champ.
So, Coach Mike, I understand you actually played in several of these rivalry games here.
Yes, I did. I was a 1980 graduate of Northside High School and was fortunate enough to get to play in 3 of them, and won 2. And I think the very first one my sophomore year was the first time Northside had ever lost to Southside.
Tell us about this great American rivalry here, and I mean, it's really something to have 2 schools like this since 1963.
Yeah, it's changed over the years. When I was in school and before me and even after, it was one of those things where you were split literally down Rogers Avenue, and guys went to school on that side of town, and you went to school on this side of town. You didn't have a lot to do with each other, and this game was huge.
Really, they didn't associate with each other?
No, I went to grade school at Bauman, and half those kids went to the south side of town when they went to junior high, and the other half went to the north side to Darby. And I had some really good friends who I was not really good friends with anymore after we went to junior high school. So it was a very, very intense, still is, game that 2 sides of town competing for the trophy.
The Northside Grizzlies have won the annual Battle of Rogers Avenue the past 3 years. So this year, the Southside Mavericks were definitely out for revenge. In the end, though, it wasn't meant to be again for the Southside Mavericks, losing to Northside 35-12.
Good thing about a rivalry like that is there's always next year. All right, I want to take this opportunity to tell you about a new membership program to help support sports on AETN. It's called the AETN Sports Booster Club, and your contribution helps support the broadcast of our state finals, not only in football, but also basketball, baseball, and softball, as well as all the compelling Arkansas sports stories that will air during the games like the one you just saw. So we have 2 levels of support. The first one's called the Rookie Membership. It includes a thank you gift, and we have all kinds of cool thank you gifts here that you can choose from. There's mugs, there's all kinds of other things. This is a blanket. It's pretty awesome. And a year of the AETN magazine that keeps you looped in on everything happening on Arkansas Public Television. And then we have the All-Star Membership, which for $60 includes all the benefits of the Rookie Membership, including the free gift, plus a year of Passport, which is a membership benefit that allows you to stream all your favorite AETN and PBS programs on demand on any device anytime you want. So here's how you join. You go to aetn.org/sports and you can sign up there, or you can call 1-800-662-2386. Once again, that's aetn.org/sports or call 1-800-662-2386. Let them know which thank you gift you want. And in that All-Star package, get the Passport. You can stream Nova, Masterpiece, even our sports programs on demand anytime you want. Be a booster member, please. All right, it takes dedication, sacrifice, and perseverance to reach the state finals, but not to be overlooked is the important role of sportsmanship and what that plays in reaching this milestone. Take a look at some Arkansas student athletes as they reflect on the importance of showing respect, kindness, and grace to everyone involved in any sporting event.
Sportsmanship is integrity.
Sportsmanship is respect and kindness.
Self-control. Accountability. Character. Persevering through challenges. Playing for the love of the game.
Sportsmanship to me is all about respect,
staying true to who you are, and being kind.
Having respect for everyone on and off the field.
Sportsmanship means to me that you have respect for yourself and other players, and you can keep your emotions together and just have fun with the game.
Sportsmanship means respecting all players, coaches, and officials on the field and having a positive attitude.
Sportsmanship is just being honest and being fair to not only your teammates but opponents. Games may get heated, intense, and personal.
This would likely lead to chaos and maybe even violence without sportsmanship.
Negative sportsmanship just brings the game down. It makes it not fun anymore.
As a player, it takes fun out of the game. It doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you, it affects your team.
As a player or an athlete, it has a very negative effect.
I feel like my game isn't the best that it can be because someone else is putting a damper on it.
And it just brings us all down in a sport that should otherwise be fun and enjoyable.
Parents are very important role models.
Your behavior at games shows who you are
And what you value most.
Let your child see you upholding these principles of sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship avoids all criticism and unkind actions.
Sportsmanship emphasizes the importance of respect, integrity,
Decency and self-control.
I think we can all agree that these values are needed now more than ever before.
Demonstrating sportsmanship shows that you care about all kids, not just your kid.
Education-based activities are about more than winning and losing. They are about learning.
How is your sportsmanship affecting the game?
How is your sportsmanship affecting the game?
How does your sportsmanship affect the game?
How is your sportsmanship affecting the game?
So great to see those student athletes represent the best in us all. Hey, I want to remind you that you can relive the action on these games. All our championship games are archived on aetn.org/sports on the Monday after the weekend. So you can check it out and relive all the action. That's going to do it for us here on the Halftime Show on AETN, your home for the Arkansas State Football Finals. I'm Ed Leon. Let's send it back out to War Memorial Stadium for the second half of the game.
We welcome you back to War Memorial Stadium. We are at halftime of the 4A state championship game between the Robinson Senators and the Shiloh Christian Saints, and it is a 20-14 lead for the Senators as they look for their first state championship since 1980. It's their only state championship in school history. For Shiloh, they have been here quite a few times. It's their 11th appearance. They have 7 state championships, but it's the first time they've been here since 2010. But you mentioned in the open, they've been here a lot in a short amount of time. Well, go right ahead. I'll give you just a second. There are a lot of headsets in this booth. You never know when you grab the wrong one.
You know, you think after doing 3 championship games last weekend and then the first half of this one, I'd figure out what was going on. But clearly, I'm the amateur in this.
Well,
booth.
I know it's live TV, man. It happens, right?
It does.
Yeah,
but more often than you would think.
Yeah, you cover Shiloh up in Northwest Arkansas quite a bit. They really are used to winning there. They have a great tradition. But it's been a little while since they've been back.
It has, and their conference has gotten significantly better the last couple of years. We've seen Pea Ridge in the championship game. We've seen Prairie Grove get to the title game. But 11 times since 1997 that Shiloh's been here at War Memorial Stadium playing for a state championship. Hadn't been since 2010. That doesn't mean they haven't won games, though. They've been, double-digit wins a lot. It takes a lot of luck to get here. Not necessarily luck. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of things to go your way to win 4 playoff games to get to this point. Obviously, we're seeing why Shiloh Christian's playing for a title.
When you think about the way these two teams played in the first half, I think about those turnovers, and those are going to get deemed mistakes. But really, they were players making plays.
They were.
I mean, there were, even the interceptions, guys hitting quarterbacks' arms, altering the trajectory of the football, making strips for the fumble.
That's right.
I mean, both these teams have played really well.
They have, and a tip ball for Shiloh Christian. That's how they get their interception. It's one of those things, and you look at the stat sheet. It's really been pretty even as far as total yards, first downs, yards per play. But the turnovers is going to be the biggest story in this football game in the first 24 minutes.
So let's take a look at some of those numbers now in the first half. They are even, in fact, as Bobby was alluding to. The yardage is where you start. 277 for Shiloh, 241 for Robinson, and how they're doing it. Both teams a little more passing than rushing, and I think you would have expected that from Shiloh. I don't know that you would have expected it from Robinson, though.
Yeah, the turnovers is really the only thing that jumps out at you. Both teams have taken advantage of their chance in the red zone, running the football. You're not expecting Shiloh to do that a ton, but the turnovers and the total plays has really evened out. That first half of the first quarter, it was all Shiloh Christian. It was about 15-3 at one point, but Pulaski Robinson able to answer back, and a lot of that with the power running game, which has set up some things in the passing game.
So let's talk a little bit about the individual performances as we take a look at the highlights. There's one of the first scores. It was the first score. That one was actually ruled out at the 3-yard line, and then replay said that he was still in bounds, so there's a big run by Hunter Smith as well. And then Robinson back to work to tie the game with that deep ball to P.J. Hall. But this was a nifty play. A lot of good play calls in the first half.
There have been. These two coaches have been shown that they're not afraid to roll the dice out. The double pass that Truett Tollett, their leading receiver, led to this touchdown run by big Logan Raven, number 15 on the season for him. He's their short yardage back, but here are the turnovers, the miscues late down the field. Just playing safety as Hall gets the interception, another interception as Reese had his arm hit throwing the football, and Robinson able to take advantage of it. Look at this catch, one of the best plays you're going to see in a state championship game, one-handed by Nunnally in the back of the end zone, and here's that trick play that has Robinson out in front.
That was near the end of the half, and Robinson took the lead with that touchdown. They missed the extra point, so they keep a 6-point lead here at the intermission. Hey, we want to recognize our 2019 Scholar Athletes of this game. If you've watched any of our championship broadcasts, you know that each school, in each of the broadcasts that we do, in each of the championship games, we honor one. So we're going to do that right now for 4A. And first up on the list is Robinson's J.T. Towers. We talked about his great story. Eric relayed that to you. He lost his brother and on the football field in Star City. He's been in a car wreck within the last year or so, but even though he's playing at 80%, did a great job in that first half. Good football player and a good academic scholar athlete as well. And then you just saw Shiloh Christian honoring Logan Raven. He's a running back, plans to be in the field of study of engineering, and has a 4.06 GPA. Congratulations to Logan and to JT, our scholar athletes of the game. Both teams working their way back out onto the field as we get set for second half action. They will get a few minutes of warm-up time. And we will go down now to the sidelines where Eric Sullivan is standing by with Shiloh coach Jeff Conaway.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Conaway, I know you want those 3 turnovers back, but you are only down by 6 points. How do you get that offense getting back into the end zone?
It's about being efficient. We ran the ball fairly well that first half. We got to get back to the run. We got to protect our quarterback. One of the turnovers we had, we got hit on the elbow, and then we've never fumbled all year, and our running back fumbled. So we just got to protect the football, play efficient football.
Your message in that halftime was what?
Exactly what I just said. We just got to be efficient. It's not anything that they're doing. We just got to go take care of the football, make plays, get a little tempo. I thought we had some tempo early in the game. We got to get back to that.
And then you got, of course, they get the ball first here. How big is the stop right now? I know you guys want to get back on.
It's huge. It's huge. We really need to stop here, and we need to make sure that this half starts like last half.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Bobby Scott, we're ready to go here, man.
All right, Eric, thanks very much. As both teams have a couple of minutes here to warm up, we're going to step aside and be back with third quarter action from War Memorial Stadium after this. You're watching the high school football state championships on AETN Sports.
Your Majesty, your sister is here.
Theodora? We can take care of her together.
There is no power greater than that of the people! Barbarians are at the gate.
I want guards right around the perimeter of the palace, everywhere.
The world is changing!
I'm not going to run away. My destiny is to rule this country.
Victoria. Stream the series with Passport, only on PBS.
Big playmakers in the first half for Shiloh Christian. We talked about Truett Tollett and his record-breaking run at Shiloh. He could tie the state record for touchdown receptions. All he needs is 1 tonight. He does not have a touchdown catch, but he has 12 overall catches for yards. Bo Cason with 3 catches for 76 yards for the Saints, and he does have the touchdown catch on the night for the receiving corps. For Robinson, Hunter Smith is the guy we talked about in the pregame, a 1,700-yard rusher coming into this game. He has 87 more to add to his totals on 12 carries. That's a 7.2 yards per carry average. He had a 44-yard run as the long one in there. Passing numbers for the quarterbacks, Buddy Gaston for Robinson, 11 out of 18. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 146 yards. Has been sacked 1 time. And Eli Reese, 18 of 27. 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 177 yards for Shiloh. And he has been sacked twice as well.
And one thing that kind of stands out about Tollett, he needs just 24 yards to become the 3rd or the 4th. The number's a little sketchy right now, though, Scott. The 3rd or the 4th player ever in Arkansas high school football to get 2,000 yards receiving. I don't care if you're playing 10 games or 15 games. That's a lot of yards, and you can see why. He's getting the football any way they can get it to him, but haven't been able to get him in the end zone.
Well, you know, high school football's clearly changed, and there are a lot more passing yards put up than there were decades ago, but usually it's spread around a lot more than that. It is very unusual for one guy to be able to pull that off.
It really is. I mean, you know, Logan Rabin has been a weapon for the offense. Luke Hutchison's got 29 catches coming in tonight. Bo Cason, creeping up on 700 yards. It also shows you the number of yards that Shiloh Christian has put up. But then again, when you're plus 500 in the point differential, you're going to put up some yards.
Keaton Carter to kick off for the Saints. Martell Nunnally and Nakiah Davis, the deep men for Robinson. It'll be Nunnally from his own 13. Nunnally's got a seam. Nunnally to midfield. And Nunnally in plus territory. No flags down.
Now one comes in late.
There was one that comes in late right as he went down. I was looking back upfield.
Shiloh Christian's had a couple big returns called back because of penalty, but this flag was thrown right where the Nunnally was pulled down. We'll have to see what the call is.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense. First down.
So that's taking it from the 40 all the way down to the 25. Great field position gets even better for Robinson.
A 43-yard kickoff return and 15 tacked on at the end. And the Senators could not have asked for a better starting field position at the 29-yard line of the Saints.
And Robinson's going to come out with a little unorthodox formation. They've got 4 receivers to the bottom of the screen and none to the top.
Buddy Gaston is the quarterback. Now they're going to shift. Hunter Smith is the running back. They give it to Smith. He cuts it inside to avoid 1 tackle. He's got the first down, sheds another tackle, and he's all the way down to the 12-yard line. Caden Henley saved the touchdown with the tackle for Shiloh. It's a 17-yard run.
That's a lot of moving parts just to run off tackle behind the big sophomore, Amarian Harris. He had an offer when he was in 8th grade to play for Alabama. 6'6", 305, playing in his 2nd state championship game, just his 2nd year of high school, obviously as a sophomore. And he's a big load to run behind.
So just the second play of this drive. Smith again. Smith into the second level and down to the 5. Stop made by Caden Henley again.
Sorry about that, Scott, but I've been really impressed with the way Smith breaks contact at the first initial hit at the line of scrimmage. It's been really impressive to see his yards after contact, and that's why Robinson again knocking on the door.
Big kickoff return, a 15-yard penalty. This just the 3rd play of a drive that started at the 29 in plus territory. Play fake. Gaston goes to the corner of the end zone, and he's got a man. It's caught for another Robinson touchdown. P.J. Smith, his 2nd touchdown grab of the game.
That is a great play in the corner of the end zone. He kind of set the defensive back up, kind of stood there, stood his ground like he was going to have to go for a jump ball, then Hall immediately darts towards that back pylon. A really impressive play by P.J. Hall. Hall's in his 2nd touchdown of the game and number 19 on the season.
My apologies, I said P.J. Smith. P.J. Hall with his 2nd touchdown catch. Big grab in the corner of the end zone.
4 touchdown passes already for Buddy Gaston. And you've got to remember, they missed the extra point last time, so now it looks like they're going to line up and go for 2 to see if they can push this lead back to 14. Gaston's made some really good plays, but when you've got receivers like Nunnally and Hall, you're not afraid to just throw it up and let your playmakers go out and get something. And there's a lot of confusion for Robinson on this 2-point try.
Play clock's down to 8 here. And we've still got people coming in off the sidelines.
Yeah. Maybe have to burn a timeout, and that's if you're Todd Escola, you're not enjoying that one. 57 seconds into the first half, it's a perfect start for your special teams and your offense. But again, you're on the 2-point try. You never know how important those timeouts are going to be late in the game.
3 plays, 29 yards. Here's the touchdown. I've been really impressed with P.J. Hall in this game.
Yeah, he's listed at 6'2", 180 on the roster, but it looks like he's got a lot more length than that. Really long arms, really long legs, and he knows how to get separation.
He has multiple offers, we're told. But, one thing about the Robinson team, Todd Escola told me this week. He said all these guys who have offers, they've decided they're not going to make a commitment until the football season is over.
I like that.
They wanted to get into this state championship game, take care of business, finish up the season with a trophy, and then worry about where they're all going to go to school.
Yeah, I really like that. Last year, Robinson's turned out Division I athletes forever. But, you put everything aside, put the team first, and here they are, just got a 12-point lead and 2 quarters away from a state championship.
All right, so after the timeout, we're still going for 2 to try to make it a 14-point lead. Hall and Smith back there with Gaston. Gaston moves the pocket. Now it's a throwback, and he's got a man wide open in the end zone, and it is caught by James Jordan for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest of throws, but it gets the job done, the throwback, and they're saying that he did break the plane with the football on his knees there, but let's maybe take a look at a replay, see if we've got a shot down the line. That's a close call, but either way, they ruled a 2-point play, and the lead's back to 14.
Let's take a look. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's across the goal line.
Yeah, I don't even think it's really close.
Since that is a scoring play, they could, review that if they so choose, the officiating crew, but they haven't buzzed it down yet. So it looks like we're good.
We'll take a break. Robinson with their biggest lead of the game, 28-14 in the 4A state championship. Back in a moment.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves. I don't go anywhere without my passport. Thanks to PBS Passport, you can watch all my travel specials. This exclusive streaming service is just for our members. Not only can you see all my shows, but you can see thousands of hours of your favorite public television shows. Become a member today.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory-certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Well, welcome back into the War Memorial Stadium. Robinson, 21 straight points. They lead Shiloh 28-14. And if you want a copy of this game or any other championship game, go to M&M Productions just to place your order.
Big championship weekend, number 2. The 4A state championship game, and a little pooch kick and a fair catch at the 28-yard line, and Shiloh will start there. 2 more games, that catch made by Luke Hutchinson. 2 more games coming up tomorrow, and they will start at noon and 6:30. Noon is the 2A game between Fordyce and Junction City. They've gone home now. Bobby mentioned earlier actually Junction City may still be over there. Fordyce is gone, but Junction City's still watching this one take place. And then the 3A is our finale tomorrow night at 6:30. Harding Academy and Osceola. That should be a good one as well. The little pitch to Tollett around the right side, and he has a hard time finding the edge. And I believe the ball came loose. The ball came loose, another fumble, and no indication yet. No, they're going to say he was down.
Yeah, so this is a potential turnover play, so they'll take a look at it, and they want to buzz down and give a review. Tollett goes head over heels. Took a big shot at the end of that play. We'll have to see. Here's the replay, see if the ball came out before he hit the ground.
Yeah, I think his arm was down.
Yeah, it looked like the right elbow might have made contact with the ground, and that's why the football came out. And
yeah.
Oh. No, the balls look like it's moving before he makes contact. This is going to be interesting. And here comes Mr. Official to the headset.
All right, your perfect record is going to be on the line here.
Yeah, if we get one more look at it, it looks like the ball is starting to move before Tollett's right arm, his right elbow hits the ground. We're going to see how the officials interpret this, but if it's me putting my perfect record, our perfect record, Scott, we're a team here.
Don't bring me into this.
I would say that first look, a fumble. The second look, not so much. Here, that's a tough call there.
Yeah, I didn't think it was on that angle, but when we see this angle from behind,
that's a fumble.
It's punched out.
Yep.
I think you're right. I think he punched it loose, or it fell out before he made contact with the ground. All right, I'm in with you. I'm going to say that's a fumble.
DJ Withers with the fumble recovery. I believe he recovered the other fumble for Pulaski Robinson, so we'll have to wait and see. That's a tough call. This is by far the closest play that's been challenged for the two championship weekends.
Yeah, you're right.
So we'll have to see, if and the wording of this is going to be really interesting. If it's confirmed, if it stands, or obviously overturned, speaks for itself.
I certainly don't think it's going to be confirmed. Because remember, the ruling on the field was he was down.
Yeah. This is why you add the replay for games like this, but this is also why the guys making millions of dollars on Sundays also miss some calls too, because these are really, really tight plays.
That's our referee, Paul Fuller, with the headset on and the white hat. He's waiting for word from the replay booth, which is just a couple of booths down from us. We could probably send a runner down there and just see what's going on.
Yeah, what's really interesting, Jeff Conaway said at the half that they haven't fumbled all season long, and Cam Wiedemann lose one in the first half, and your go-to player, Truett Tollett, potentially losing a fumble here. You hate to have the biggest game and the biggest miscues of the season, but sometimes this stage kind of brings that out. The quality of the opponent has a lot to do with that as well.
While we have a moment, let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
All right, Scott, now on the personal foul call, I did get confirmation from the officials that it wasn't the sling down by the Senator or the Shiloh Christian player on the Robinson player. After he was slung down, one of the Shiloh players jumped right on top of him, and they say they're going to call that every time. And I'll go against both of you. I think they're going to rule this the ground call is a fumble. I'll go against you two guys and always gang up on me.
The ruling on the field stands.
So not confirmed, but stands.
Yep. And I thought that might be a possibility. So do we lose? Does that mean we're –
I think it's a push.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to keep our perfect record going.
Yeah.
So a huge break either way for Shiloh Christian. You're down 2 scores, you get the football back, and you try to get something going. And so that's a big, big break for Shiloh Christian because it would have been great field position for Robinson.
Would have been the 4th turnover of this game for the Saints, and now they've got the football still. It's 2nd down and about 7. Reese goes back to work. He has time, floats it out to a wide-open Tollett. He's got the first down and more into Robinson territory and brought down at the 45-yard line. The stop made by J.T. Towers.
That's the crossing routes that Shiloh Christian has so much success with against anybody who they play. Tollett kind of gets lost in traffic, and that's a big gainer as they're across the 50.
And they are right back up there on the football, trying to keep the pace. Wiedemann gets the give. Around the left side and stood up there after about a 2-yard gain. K.J. Merriweather there to stop Wiedemann.
I've brought it up a couple times on the broadcast, Scott. You got to give credit to Tollett. Over 2,000 yards receiving this year for Shiloh Christian.
Wow.
He's now got 14 catches on the day, just 9 off the state championship game record. Obviously a lot of time left here in the second half.
Handoff goes to Baker, and Baker has nowhere to go. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. He may have lost one. Colin Coates, the defensive end for Robinson, turning him back.
That was a nice job by the Robinson front. Really set the edge and forced everything back into, so the linebackers who have 8,000 tackles combined on the season can wrap things up. With only a slight exaggeration.
They're taking their time on this play as it comes in from the sidelines.
Again, we've talked about it. This may be 2-down territory for Shiloh.
3rd and 9. And they keep it on the ground and nowhere to go for Logan Rabin. Robinson was in the backfield as soon as the handoff was made. Jonathan Blackman, one of the first guys there for the Senators.
Yeah, the big nose tackle for the Senators has been a handful for Shiloh Christian's front. They haven't been able to slow him down. The penetration right there It really blows things up for Shiloh Christian, but they're going to leave the offense on there and at least give a look that they're going to go for it on 4th and 9.
Shiloh's 4 out of 10 on 3rd down, and they are 0 for 2 on 4th down now. And they throw a pick. It is intercepted and clean sailing into the end zone for Robinson. K.J. Merriweather for 6.
Those are mistakes that Shiloh Christian just hasn't made all season long, but Eli Reese, a little pressure. He knows it's 4th down, pressures himself, kind of lobs it up there, and there's no Shiloh receiver really in the area. Double covered is Tollett, and that is easy pickings and an easy pick 6 for for Pulaski Robinson.
A 55-yard interception return. And Robinson has opened things up here in the 3rd quarter.
Officially a 58-yard interception return for Merriweather. Either way you want to call it, 53 or 58, a big play for Robinson. And the Senators, all of a sudden, who were down 14-7, have scored 28 consecutive points, and they have all the momentum in this football contest. Whew. That is a brutal start for Shiloh Christian. You give up a big kick return, maybe a potential fumble, then you throw an interception and 14 quick points for the Senators.
The pass came out a little wobbly from Reese. I don't know if he had lost his grip on that a little bit or maybe just floated it. But it sure hung up there, and I don't know that he ever saw Merriweather camped out.
This is by far the most adversity Shiloh Christian has seen. They really sailed through the regular season, sailed through the playoffs. The only really big challenge they had was in Week 10 of the regular season against Pea Ridge, but they never trailed in that contest. They were up 14-0. Pea Ridge came back and tied it, but Shiloh Christian hang on for a 2-point victory. But really up to this point, including last week in the state semifinals where they're up 35-0 at Crossett after a 5-hour bus ride, this is the first sign of adversity the Saints have seen. We're going to have to see how they respond because right now it's not looking good for the kids from Shiloh.
Let's go down the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Scott and Bobby, I'm watching on the sideline right now. Great word there, adversity. They're trying to figure things out here. Coach Adam DePriest, the offensive coordinator, really going through their video system with their iPad. And you got to give Merriweather credit. He read that crossing pattern, Bobby. He hit on it. And Shiloh wants to do that all game long, but he was right there. I think the ball did come out a little slow, but, man, that is a punch in the face to get a pick 6 to start the second half.
Yeah, and when you think about how that kind of transpired, guys, Shiloh's having a hard time running the football, and they've been forced into some passing downs, and Robinson's able to really sit on those passes, but only 68 yards rushing in this football game for Shiloh, and you certainly saw them having a tough time getting positive yards on that last drive.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Cam Wiedemann has 1,200 yards rushing, Logan Raven over 500 now for the season. They've been able to run the football when they wanted to, but Robinson's got too much beef up front, and they're shutting it down and forcing Shiloh into obvious passing situations, and they're shutting that down as well.
Kickoff sails out of bounds, and so another opportunity for Shiloh to have good field position here. So you got to have an answer if you're the Saints right here, and they certainly have the firepower to do it.
Yeah, Eli Reese only 6 interceptions on the entire season, but 3 today here for Shiloh Christian. He's a senior. He's been through a lot of these moments. Actually benched at the start of last season because he wasn't playing well, wasn't playing up to what Jeff Conaway expected out of his quarterback, won his job back. So he's been through some adversity in his career, but this year it's been a really smooth sailing for Eli Reese, so we'll have to see how he bounces back.
It's a Saint team that averages 48.6 points per game, and they've been held to 14 so far. Cam Wiedemann is again the back, and they will keep it on the ground, but there's a whistle and a flag prior to the snap. And it looks like we're going to get a false start penalty on the Saints.
Dead ball, encroachment
on
the defense.
It's against Robinson.
That's the thing in high school. You jump off sides, they blow it dead. They don't let you have the free play like they do on Saturdays or Sundays. So here on this Friday, it's going to be a 1st and 5 for Shiloh.
"24 seniors on this Shiloh team. Confidence likely not shaken. Wiedemann gets a good gain on first down. That's what they needed. They needed to be able to run the football effectively right off the bat here. Jonathan Blackman makes the stop, but it's enough on a 1st and 5 to move the sticks.
Yeah, just need some easy, quick throws for Eli Reese, which there haven't been a lot of since that first drive of the game. Maybe get the quarterback some confidence as well.
It's Wiedemann again, shuffling his way through to the 2nd level, to the 3rd level, and now heading towards the sidelines. Into the red zone he goes, and finally stacked up at the 16-yard line. A big run for Cam Wiedemann.
You got to give a lot of credit to that up front for Shiloh Christian. They haven't been able to move the pile, move that line of scrimmage much tonight, but that time they run over left side behind Isaiah Harris and Sam Widmer, the left guard and tackle, and all of a sudden Shiloh Christian back in business.
And right back up on the football. Wiedemann gets a breather. And it's Baker. Baker on the left side. Inside the 15-yard line. It's a short game, but it's a pretty sizable, it's good enough. Jonathan Blackman again makes the stop, but you'll take that 3 or 4 yards on first down.
Yeah, they don't waste much time getting Wiedemann back in. One play off, he's back on the field. Run 37 yards, get 3 seconds off, and you're back on there.
Wiedemann hit in the backfield and then trips over his own player, and the flag comes flying in at the end of the play. DJ Withers blows up that play.
Face mask on the defense.
That's a tough blow.
Yeah, second
for
Robinson.
Robinson.
Yep. Second defensive penalty on this drive.
Yeah, you look like you get a big defensive stop, going to force Shiloh into a 3rd and long. Instead, that's going to be 5 free yards and still second down for Shiloh. That penetration, though, whew, that's a load coming in through. Chandler McIntosh, 6'2", 225, had 197 tackles coming into this football game on the season, and he hasn't disappointed. He's kind of flying around, made the interception early in that first half. And always around the football, which is what you wanted out of your linebacker, and he has not disappointed today.
That was the 6th penalty against the Senators. Handoff goes to Wiedemann. He just shuffles his way through, trying to find room, and again he's going to be rolled down after a short gain of 2. He gets to the 10-yard line. JT Towers, he's a man in there at that linebacking spot.
Yeah. You know, Wiedemann showing some patience, able to tiptoe his way to a couple yards, but Robinson not allowing much for that Shiloh front to create some space. And 3rd and 3, and we haven't heard Truett Tillet's name in a while, so probably do.
Reese moving the pocket, going end zone, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Tollett.
Yeah, you got him one-on-one as Eli Reese and his favorite receiver more times than not. That's going to be an advantage for Shiloh, but great coverage on the outside by Robinson. They're going to force a 4th and short.
Now, certainly this would possibly be in the realm of a field goal try, but they're going to go, especially with the score, they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're 0 for 2. Handoff Wiedemann. Wiedemann has the first down, and he's inside the 5-yard line. And he's dumped inbounds just shy of the 2.
Yeah, Shiloh Christian has said we're going to come out and run the football in this drive, and faced with the biggest play of this game, down 21 points, facing a 4th down. They trust running the football with Wiedemann, and again behind Widmer and Harris, the 2 juniors on the left side of that offensive line.
Shiloh knocking on the doorstep. It's 1st down and goal. Keep it on the ground again. Wiedemann to the goal line, to the end zone, touchdown Shiloh Christian.
That drive was all about answering and all about establishing something up front. Cam Wiedemann and that offensive front did it for Shiloh Christian, and you knew 21 points for a team that's averaging nearly 50 a game, not going to be insurmountable. A really important drive for Shiloh Christian as they're back in the end zone.
Give some credit to the offensive line on that drive for Shiloh. They kept that almost exclusively on the ground. Keaton Carter is on to attempt the point after to pull back to within 2 scores.
7 plays, 65 yards, as you mentioned, most of that damage on the ground. And Shiloh Christian back into it. Cam Wiedemann, who's been huge the last month of the season, 3 consecutive 100-yard games on the ground coming into this contest. And he's back into the end zone, 81 yards on the afternoon or the evening. I'm going to call it that. And here we are, 35-21. And I don't think anybody's ready to seal this one in yet.
Wiedemann with 6 carries, 48 yards on that scoring drive. So all but one play, it was in the hands of number 17.
Yeah, that's who you want to go to. Now, obviously, Tollett's had a huge day, 14 catches on the outside, but when the running game's working, because a lot hasn't been working against this Robinson defense, you find something to go your way. Maybe it's on that left side of the offensive line, the right side of the Robinson defense, at least on that drive. There was a weakness, and the Saints were able to take advantage.
You know, we've talked a lot about Tollett in this game and how he's close to those scoring records. One thing that Coach Conaway told me earlier this week when we were talking to him is when he talked to Truitt earlier this week, he said, hey, records are awesome, but you know what we want, Coach.
Yeah,
and we want the state championship game. That says a lot about his attitude and the attitude of this team.
It does. You know, obviously being based in Northwest Arkansas, I've talked to these kids a couple times this season, and they've talked about that. They don't care about records. They want to win a championship. They want to get a ring coming back to Shiloh Christian, and they've got themselves a chance.
Return by Nakiah Davis, and he gets it back up shy of the 35-yard line. That's where Robinson will start after a 5-yard kickoff return. 6:13 to play in the third quarter, and we got a game again.
Now, if you're Robinson, things are working. Offensively, running the football, throwing the football. Defense was working prior to that last drive, so don't change anything. Hunter Smith already with over 100 yards. Your quarterback's got 4 passing touchdowns. Not a lot of need for razzle-dazzle. Just run the football and make Shiloh Christian make the plays to stop you.
Maybe seeing a little more ball control here in the second half. Hunter Smith stands with Gaston, and they will give it to Smith. Smith with a big hole. Smith to midfield. Hunter Smith is off to the races. He will be chased down inside the 30-yard line, and a big gain on first down. Keaton Carter, the cornerback for Shiloh, finally brings him down, but it's a 41-yard run.
It was the window dressing. The fake reverse on that froze the linebacker just for a split second, not able to get there and make the play. Then Hunter Smith off to the races, who's now over 150 yards rushing, 152 on just 15 carries. He's been averaging huge numbers all season long, but averaging 10 yards a carry in the title game speaks for itself.
They can get 41 yards, so much for the ball control, right? Hunter Smith stays in there, too, in the pistol formation. They'll fake. Nope, they do give it to him. And Smith is stood up for a short gain that time, about 2 yards on the carry for Smith. The stop made by Cooper Hutchinson.
You average 10 yards a carry in a game. That's pretty impressive. Hunter Smith's averaging 10 yards a carry for the season. Over 1,800 yards, 1,864 to be exact on the season for Hunter Smith.
Second and 9. Gaston to throw. Sets up and fires a strike complete at the 15-yard line to P.J. Smith. He's still working his way upfield and finally brought down at the 12-yard line. The stop made by Matt McEwen.
Yeah, he's been the go-to receiver all day long for Buddy Gaston, the quarterback. P.J. Hall, he was really the second option on that. They're trying to get the wheel route for the big play on the outside, but Hall coming on the underneath avoids the big shot across the middle, and they're knocking on the door of the goal line again.
Handoff Smith. Hit at the line of scrimmage, breaks free, cuts it up, touchdown Robinson.
That's a punishing run that he finished, lowers the shoulder, gets his first rushing touchdown of the game, but the offensive front for Joe T. Robinson has really taken over. 165 yards on the ground for Hunter Smith, his first score, but that's a statement drive right there that says, okay, you answer back to you, Shiloh Christian, we've got an answer ourselves.
And a fast answer at that. A minute 33, 4 plays, 66 yards. And Gabriel is on to stretch the lead back out to 21. And he does.
So Shiloh Christian able to respond, gets it back to 14, but the defense can't answer. So now if you're Shiloh Christian, you know, okay, we got to go out and score. We got to do it in a hurry. And we got to hope something goes our way on the other side of the football. Maybe they make it happen on special teams. Maybe they create a turnover, because now there's just 16 and a half and some change left in this football game. Got a quarter and 4 minutes and 44 seconds. So Shiloh Christian not only playing the Senators right now, they're also going to have to start playing against the clock.
You can't certainly afford to exchange touchdowns.
Again, though, it took 93 seconds there for Robinson. Shiloh Christian's first 2 scoring drives of this game lasted less than 2 minutes, so still plenty of time if you're Jeff Conaway in that offense. We've seen it. They've got 362 yards, have more total yards than Joe T. Robinson does. With the turnovers, like in the most cases, the story of this game so far.
See the turnovers there. Those have certainly been big tonight as well. a +3 edge for the Senators. Still not a lot of points off those turnovers. Really, as good of a turnover was the way they started the third quarter, and that was a great kickoff return and a 15-yard personal foul penalty that let them start that drive at the 29. So they've outscored Shiloh 14-7 in this quarter.
Yeah, 4 turnovers for Shiloh have led to 20 points, 7 of those on a direct correlation of a pick 6. So haven't been able to take advantage of every turnover, but you'll take that 3 out of 4. Robinson's going to get called for offsides on the kickoff.
Yeah. They will blow the play dead. And you see the preliminary signal. So we'll kick it again.
Encroachment on the kicking team.
You know, Shiloh Christian's had some success running the kick back. They've had 2 really long ones that were called back because of penalty. So we've seen here in the second half that Robinson's going for the pooch kick open that Shiloh Christian just calls for a fair catch and kind of takes it about 25, 30 yards away from where they caught it, or where they kicked it, excuse me.
Another short kick fielded by Hutchinson. And Hutchinson dropped at the 42-yard line.
That's what you're wanting if you're both teams. Shiloh Christian gets the ball on their own 40, 41-yard line, but Joe T. Robinson doesn't allow the big return. So if you're Todd Escola, you're happy. You're Jeff Conaway, you're happy. You're in the stands, you're clapping. If you're at home, you're listening to us. Unfortunately, I guess, for some.
Eli Reese back to work. And the handoff to Wiedemann. He had a big drive the last time. Very patient run to the 45-yard line. DJ Withers with the stop. Let's go down to Eric.
All right, guys, well, we've had a nice start to this first half, and the show by Hunter Smith and P.J. Hall in that last drive for Robinson was outstanding. But let's give Buddy Gaston some credit. Here's a guy that might have struggled a little bit in that first quarter. He's kept his composure, and he's got his team 42 points. And also, Bobby, for you, watch number 7, J.T. Towers, and number 30, linebacker Chandler McIntosh. These 2 guys have almost 400 tackles this year, and they have really, really stepped up since that first quarter where Shiloh was so good. Those 2 guys are everywhere.
All right, Eric, thanks very much. Withers there with the stop for the Robinson defense.
And speaking of being everywhere, Withers has been that. Gets the sack there, has 1 fumble recovery, one that was ruled down by contact. But Shiloh Christian faced with a 3rd and long and a really important play.
Reese over the middle. He has a man, but he overthrew it, or actually led him, I should say, just a tad too much. It was Tollett, the intended receiver, couldn't get his hands on it.
That's a throw that Reese really wants back. He had some time, and his main receiver running wide open down the seam and just overshot his receiver by a step, and that might have been a walk-in touchdown for Tollett if the 2 could have hooked up.
So big call here on 4th down. Ball still on your end. Shiloh's 1 for 4 on 4th down. But down 21 points late in the third quarter. They're going to elect to go for it. Wiedemann is the running back. Pre-snap shift, and there's going to be a timeout called by Shiloh.
Yeah, they moved the tackle over with the tight end at Shiloh Christian. Jeff Conaway didn't like the look he was getting from the defense, and this play is way too important because you might be able to be pressed to say this is the game for Shiloh Christian.
You let yourself get talked out of it here during this timeout. It's kind of a tough call in my opinion. I know 21 points is a big deficit, but there's a lot of time here to give Robinson the football back in plus territory.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you ask yourself, okay, defensively, are we playing well enough to get us a stop? Because you can't fall down by 28 points. And maybe the way that Robinson has played these last 2 full quarters, really since the midway point of the first quarter, Shiloh Christian hasn't had many answers to slow down this Senator offense. So don't forget, starting on Monday, you can relive all the action and watch all of the championship games at aetn.org/sports. That's starting on Monday. You can watch the 3 from last weekend and then the 3 from this weekend.
We already crowned 3 state champions. Bryant beating North Little Rock for the 2nd consecutive year. Pulaski Academy beating Little Rock Christian in a rematch. Boy, what a game that was. The nightcap between Benton and Searcy winning the state title. A fourth state champion crowned tonight. The blitz is coming. Reese is hit as he throws, and that's going to be called incomplete. His arm was moving forward, says the officials on the field. And it's a turnover on downs, and Robinson will take over with a 21-point lead in Shiloh territory.
That's a great call defensively. Robinson brings pressure off the edge, and there's not enough blockers to get there. It's a big hit on the quarterback. It looked like it was J.T. Towers coming off the edge. The linebacker got so many tackles. That's, as you mentioned, Scott, a big stop for Robinson, and maybe, just maybe, 15 minutes left in this game, you got a chance to put one of the initial nails in the coffin.
Hunter Smith being chased in the backfield and gets away from the negative tackle, but he is going to be stopped just shy of the line of scrimmage. Ethan Schluter is the man who makes the stop for Shiloh.
Yeah, Max Suarez came on the linebacker blitz and really came untouched, but that's kind of where Hunter Smith has been so effective. He's able to break through that first initial contact there, does not get back to the line of scrimmage, but avoids a loss of 5 and then turns it into just a loss of 1.
Feel like you're going to get a steady diet of Hunter Smith on this drive. He's in the pistol formation behind his quarterback, Gaston. And they're going to change the play here at the line of scrimmage. Play clock's under 5 again. They've already had to waste 1 timeout because of the play clock. They're going to throw, though. Gaston hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Somebody got a hold of his arm. And that stops the clock and brings up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, he's throwing some hand signals at Martell Nunnally, his receiver. He kind of thought he might have had a wheel route or an out and up, and Nunnally kind of broke that one off. And he might have tried the pull the football back, but either way, it's an incomplete pass and a huge 3rd down coming up for the Shiloh defense.
I think it just fell out of his hands.
Yeah, he tried to stop. He tried to stop his throwing motion there because receiver broke the route off. He saw it just in time and able to pull that one back down. And a lot of times you see a quarterback trying to do that. It's kind of like the check swing. Sometimes you just go too far, and that's what happened there.
3rd and 11. Gaston with the quick release, and the pass is caught inside the 40 and to the 35-yard line, but that's going to be short of the first down. Catch made by Deontay Moody. Interesting decision time now for Todd Escola. It's 4th down, but it's only 4th down and a couple.
Yeah, the way Hunter Smith's run the football, you're gonna go for this more times than not. Got to do a great job of scouting by this Robinson offense. Every time they think that Shiloh's going to dial up a blitz, they seem to have a screen called at the perfect time. That was a good example. Shiloh able to recover and get the tackle before the first down is picked up. But either way, some wide open space and picks up 8 or 9.
Play's not in yet, and the play clock under 10 again.
So they may have to burn his second time out. But this is a big play.
They will.
I'm not a coach. I don't have a state championship on the line for myself, but it's 4th and 2, and I've got a running back who's averaging 9.1 yards a carry. I think the decision might be pretty easy.
Well, and you'd have to say Robinson thinks their defense is playing pretty well right now, too.
Yeah, and neither one of these teams have really shown that they like to punt. Neither one of these teams really show that they like to kick a field goal. So here you are, 4th and 2. And more importantly, you can pick up this first down. You probably run the next 2 minutes off this clock, at least get it to the 4th quarter if you can pick up the first down. And for Shiloh Christian, I think you've got to sell out and try to shut down Hunter Smith. So maybe that's where the chess game comes in. Because the play action pass could lead to a walk-in touchdown.
Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Yeah, Scott, this could be the moment of the game. Could Shiloh get this stop, get their offense back out there? And we kind of knew it was Shiloh's offense to stop, and the Robinson Senators defense was so good, but it's come to this moment. 21-point game, but you got to like the Senators. If they can get the ball here and start killing some clock, it would do wonders for them for this football game.
Well, Coach Escola said they had a terrible effort in last year's championship game against Arkadelphia, and that meant something to them. They carried that forward. They've had a mindset to get back here and play better. They have certainly done that. 4th down and 2, and Shiloh did jump up front, but they didn't cross into the neutral zone there, as they call it.
But Robinson didn't have enough players on the field. They run the guy on late.
After the timeout, play clock again under 5. They will get the snap off. They're going to throw on 4th down, and a quick strike is dropped.
That's where you knew Shiloh Christian was going to sell out to stop the run, and a quick slant, 5 yards, had plenty of space in front, but I think he saw all that space in front as he can't make the play, and you call it a big stop for Shiloh Christian, but that was a big gift by the Senators.
Very much was, and the Saints will trot their offense back out onto the field with a chance to cut into the 21-point deficit, still with 1:50 left in the third quarter.
It's the captain obvious thing to say, but Shiloh Christian has to take advantage of a gift like that. A lot of times it's a defensive stop that gives you an extra possession. This time a drop pass is going to do it.
Eli Reese is the Shiloh quarterback. Good protection, but nowhere to go with it, and down he goes at the 31-yard line. J.T. Towers.
I think the one thing that's been really impressive about this group of linebackers for Robinson, they're just in the right place. He's kind of eyeing the quarterback. It looks like he may have Rabin locked up in coverage. Rabin stays in the block, and he just makes the play on the quarterback as he rolls to his direction.
It's a loss of 5 back at the 30. Reese moving the pocket, and the ball is dropped again. Cam Wiedemann, the intended receiver over the middle in heavy traffic, but he had a chance to catch the football.
Yeah, Robinson is doing a great job of taking away option number 1. They've scouted. They've seen what Shiloh Christian is going to do. They take away option number 1, and a dangerous throw by Reese going against his body back to the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And lucky he gets to see third down.
You like what they do by moving the pocket, but it does kind of cut half the field off. It's hard to throw back to the right side when you're moving left.
Yeah, and really since the first 2 drives of this game, Truett Tollett hasn't been a whole lot of a factor. Obviously, you're going to roll the coverage his direction every time. The Senators have done a nice job of shutting down Shiloh's best receiver.
Shiloh 4 of 12 on third down, and this is third and a bundle. Reese goes down under pressure again. He tried to take off and got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's going to be all. It's a loss of 1, in fact. And how about the pass coverage for Robinson?
Yeah, that's a coverage sack if you've ever seen one, but a nice job staying in the rush lanes, and he really trips up. And Shiloh Christian, facing 4th and 16, hasn't run the punter out there just yet. But it looks like they're going to right now. That's just too much yards to gain to risk giving the football up at your own 30-yard line still in the third quarter.
Truett Tollett had 12 catches at halftime, 2 here in the third quarter. Robinson's done a better job on him. Caleb Anderson is on to kick it away. Nobody back deep for Robinson, so it's going to take a nice bounce for the Saints inside the 25, right at the 25-yard line. And the Senators take over with 22 seconds in the third quarter and a 21-point lead.
You can join the AETN Sports Booster Club at the rookie level for only $35 or the All-Star level, which includes AETN Passport on-demand streaming for just $60. You can sign up today at aetn.org/sports, and I think that was the right call. You punt it, it's 4th and 15. You still got more than 12 minutes of game action left. Trust your defense to get you that one stop, and then maybe you get 3 and out here, your offense gets better field position. The score doesn't show it. Shiloh Christian still has more offensive yardage, 357 to 344, but
short fields.
That's right.
Smith, straight ahead. Conservative run game, trying to burn some clock, and that should take us to the fourth quarter. Robinson, 12 minutes away from their first state championship since 1980. But they're going to have to play some ball control football to protect a 21-point lead. We're back for the final quarter. After this, you're watching the state championships on AETN Sports.
It's War Memorial. What do you expect? You can't come to War Memorial.
As time passes and the years go by, change is something we all experience. But no matter how the world changes from year to year, the one thing that will never change is the true meaning of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Jochi Robinson just 12 minutes away from their first state championship since 1980. They got a 21-point lead going into the fourth. You can stay in the know about ATN programs and announcement. Just text AETN to 313131 for updates straight to your phone.
We begin play in the fourth quarter, and the give is to J.T. Towers around the right side. Finds very little room, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and there is a flag down. We'll have to check on that. So moving into the fourth quarter, a 42-21 lead for Robinson. We'll check some stats in a moment.
Blocking the back on offense.
If you look at the offensive numbers, we mentioned Tollett had 12 catches at halftime, only 2 in that third quarter. Eli Reese now has 203 passing yards, 1 touchdown. He's been sacked 5 times now by Robinson. Buddy Gaston, 14 of 23, 172. 4 touchdown passes for the Robinson quarterback. And Hunter Smith, 19 carries, 166 yards, a touchdown, 8.7 yards per carry. And how about on the defensive end? McIntosh and Towers, those two linebackers that have, as Bobby likes to say, 8,000 tackles coming in. McIntosh with 15, Towers with 9.
McIntosh now with 212 tackles on the season.
Whew. Hunter Smith is the running back. We expect to see a lot of him, although it is second down now and 16. They're going to go to the air. Gaston has a man wide open at the 40-yard line. 50 to the 40. Nobody is going to catch Martell Nunnally. Touchdown, Robinson.
Nunnally pulled the Randy Moss. He saw wide open space and just threw the hand up, and Buddy Gaston laid it out there. And by far the easiest pitch and catch, his 5th touchdown pass of the day. And that is an absolute backbreaker for Shiloh Christian. You got Jochi Robinson backed up against the chains, but a bust in coverage, wide open down the middle of the field, and the Senators made him pay 82 yards.
That may have just sealed the deal. Boy, great job adjusting back to the football there, thrown just a hair behind him. But Gaston laid it up there and gave his guy a chance. Wide open he goes, 82 yards. Gabriel on for the point after.
That end zone cam was a perfect shot. You could see the option to read. He pulls it, and his first look is right down the middle of the field, and he saw him, and he hit him in stride. And 82 yards later, touchdown number 5, and that is a big, big second half for this Jochi offense.
Back to War Memorial in a moment.
One of the best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at MountainHunterBank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, Roger Scott for Big Red Stores. Big Red Stores is proud to support high school athletics and to sponsor these high school championship games. Over 40 Big Red Stores are located throughout Central Arkansas, each one staffed with our team members who have participated in games, marched in the band, or led the spirit teams in cheers. And now we are pleased to bring families, schools, and communities together. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever. Enjoy the games.
An 82-yard strike. Jochi Robinson up by 28 points here in the fourth quarter. We want to give a big special thank you to Corky's Ribs and Barbecue for catering. Don't forget they've got restaurants in Little Rock and North Little Rock, and this has been a really impressive effort, especially second half-wise offensively for the Senators, Scott.
No question about it. And just when we thought we were going to get a steady diet of Hunter Smith was And that's what Shiloh was thinking we were going to get. That's when they went deep. Keaton Carter on the return, and Shiloh will start just over their own 30-yard line.
That's when that play action comes into play.
Let's go down and get an injury update from Eric.
Yeah, guys, I don't think it's too serious because of the toughness of J.T. Towers, but he went down after that run where the flag was called on Robinson just before the big pass play, went straight to the trainers. They're trying to get that foot straightened out as much as they can. Of course, he's going in for surgery tomorrow, and that kid is playing tonight. I fully expect him to be back as tough as he is. And one other note on Martell Nunley, he's drawn the task of defending Tollett this half. I think he's done a pretty good job as well as catching long touchdown passes as well.
All right, great spot, Eric. Throw out in to the short part of the right side of the field, and Luke Hutchinson makes the catch for Shiloh. And that is going to be a gain of about 8, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 2.
And J.T. Towers there, able to help make up the play, so he's back on the field.
Certainly doesn't look too serious, although you wouldn't know it with that kid anyway. He's going to be out there no matter what, it seems like. The toughness of this Robinson defense holding this Shiloh offense down well below their season average thus far. They get 48 per game. Handoff goes to Logan Rabin, and Rabin's got the first down over the 45-yard line. The stop is made by Jonathan Blackman.
Shiloh Christian down 4 touchdowns, going to have to do things in a hurry, and I think you're going to have to start using Truett Tollett as a decoy. They've got 2 defenders, the safety over the top of him, and rely on your other 3 weapons like right there to take advantage.
Reese to a wide open Bo Kaysen, and Kaysen is out of bounds at the Robinson 39-yard line. This is really where the Saints have had the most production offensively, is when they've been able to maintain that pace. We haven't seen that throughout the game.
Get the rhythm going. That also slows down the defensive line as Robinson still kind of wandering around in the formation as Shiloh set to snap the football.
Shiloh scored first in this game. They led 7-0. They led 14-7. Reese hit, ran into his own man, bobbled the football, and came down with it. He's going to go down for a big loss, though. DJ Withers will get credit for a sack. That'll be the 6th Robinson sack. It's a loss of 4.
Yeah, again, another covered sack. Reese wants to throw the football as soon as he can, but Tollett was well covered on the corner route, and Reese lucky to get the football back on that play.
Reese dumps it off to his running back, Wiedemann. Wiedemann back to the original line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle, and he's got a first down. Well, it may depend a little bit on the mark, but it's right at it. Right at the first down yard marker. There is a flag down on the field.
That could be a real tough call for Shiloh. You pick up the first down on 2nd and long, and maybe this one coming back, maybe a legal lineman downfield gets down on field too early on the screen, or some sort of an illegal block.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense.
Or none of those things.
First down.
Big break for Shiloh, as it turns out. I didn't see that one. Maybe on the replay we would be able to see it, but it's a big break for the Saints. Let's take a look. Maybe right here. Yeah. There you go.
Turn the head. This shows the strength of Wiedemann to run through that face mask and still pick up big yardage on the screen. And Shiloh Christian down inside the red zone, and got to take advantage if you're the Saints.
First and 10 from the 15. Reese moves the pocket right and throws it into the hands of another Robinson defender. Picked off again. Down the sidelines we go. It is intercepted. Intercepted by James Jordan. And Jordan will be stopped shy of the 40-yard line. That is the 4th interception of the year for James Jordan. The only pick he has that didn't result in a pick 6. He had 3 pick 6s coming into this game.
Yeah, he was looking for Tollett on the quick out, and Jordan did a nice job, just jumps the route, and he almost ran it better than Tollett did. That's this advanced scouting. They know Shiloh Christian likes to run those quick outs to number 8, Truett Tollett, and Eli Reese, who came into this football game with 6 interceptions on 368 attempts on the season, now with his 4th pick and 38 tries tonight.
You get the feeling that might have been the last chance for Shiloh to stay in this game. Now Robinson going to be looking to burn a lot of clock time with their stud running back.
You got to give all the credit to Pulaski Robinson's defensive coordinator, their defensive staff, and their players. They've came out and made plays, but they have done a great job of bottling up Tollett in this second half.
Hunter Smith closing in on 1,800 for the season, or over 1,800, closing in on 1,900 for the season. Came in with 1,709, and he's got another 166 tonight. And he's probably going to get his hands on the football quite a bit here in the final 9 minutes of the 4A state championship game. Here's Smith again. This time moving the pack. Boy, it looked like he was stacked up maybe even for a loss, but he gets over the 45-yard line. That's a big run. 3-yard pickup all the way to the 48 rather. He'll be a yard shy after Caden Henley brought him down. Well, if you're Robinson, you may not really want to throw the football again. You definitely don't want to go out of bounds again. You don't want the clock to stop for any reason.
And a steady dose of Hunter Smith would be well served for Joe T. Robinson. Last time we saw Shiloh Christian really selling out to stop the run, and that's where they hit him with the play-action pass. But you kind of believe a 3rd and short, you're going to try to run the football and just extend this drive if you're Joe T.
3rd down and a long yard. And a big gain for Smith. Breaks a tackle into the secondary, into the red zone goes Hunter Smith.
It's going to put him over the 200-yard mark, and he just looks like he's getting stronger as this game goes on. Shiloh Christian's front not able to slow down, not able to establish the line of scrimmage. And Hunter Smith over 200 yards. That average probably about 10 yards a carry again, and that hole was huge. A perfect shot from the end zone.
47 yards for Smith.
213 yards now on the afternoon. 9.7 yards to tote.
Man. It's going to be a hard call for MVP between Gaston and Smith.
You say, okay, a guy's got 5 touchdown passes. He's the lock, right? Well, maybe not so much.
JT Towers now is in at running back. And they'll play fake to him. Gaston goes to work up top on the air towards the far sidelines. And inside the 5 goes P.J. Hall, and he stays in bounds. He's right at the 1st down yard marker. The clock is rolling for the moment. They're going to call it 2nd down in less than a yard, so they don't move the sticks here. And the clock continues to roll. Now they're going to call time for an official measurement. 1980, the last time and only time that Robinson won a state championship. They won the 4A state championship over DeQueen 26-6 that year. Head coach Todd Escola was a ball boy on that team. His dad coached for years. Robinson is in his blood. He's never won a state title, but he is inching ever so close to that.
Everybody thought last year's game against Arkadelphia was going to be a slugfest. Those two teams that come out of the same conference, the 4A7, but not in the cards for them. The Badgers rolled to their 2nd straight title a season ago, but now they're just counting down the yards and counting down the seconds.
Eric, we saw you right on top of that.
1 inch short of a 1st down. I called the last one. I called the when you guys thought it was going to be overturned to a fumble, I said it would stand. So it's like, East Sully's winning this game tonight.
Let me tell you, not every sideline guy can be on the field. I mean, you're not our sideline reporter. You're our on-field reporter. They're just giving you free reign down there.
Guys, you from upstairs, tell me what flipped here for Robinson. I mean, I really had a feeling in that 1st quarter. I didn't think Robinson would be able to stay up with Shiloh, guys. And, I mean, they have the defense has been outstanding. We know what I'm with you guys. I don't know who the MVP is, but, man, the switch did flip in the midway through that 2nd quarter for the Robinson Senators.
No doubt about it. In that 3rd quarter, the way they started it with the big kickoff return and then the 15-yard penalty, only having to go 29 yards, big momentum swing there. Handoff Derek Alexander, and Alexander should have the 1st down. It should be a 1st and goal coming up. Keaton Carter making the stop. But, you looked at those defenses, and they played really well. I think the defenses won the 2nd quarter.
Eric asked what the biggest difference was. It was the swing of defense for Joe T. Robinson. They made the adjustments. They've taken the first read out of the Shiloh passing game, which no team has been able to do all season long. They've been able to move the football, whether it's on the ground or through the air, whenever they wanted to. Robinson's taken away that first weapon, and you can see it's really frustrated the the play calling and the play efforts of Shiloh Christian. They've got 5 turnovers, which is obviously a season high.
Almost 49 points per game Shiloh's offense averages, and 21 here late in the game against Robinson. And a timeout going to be called here as the play clock was winding down once again. It's the only thing Coach Escola hasn't been happy with in this second half is getting that playoff in time. So they're now out of timeouts, and if this was a closer game, that might be a big issue.
Yep. What's really impressive is R.J. Hawk from the booth next to us has passed over a note. This is going to be, if it holds up, the the third different state champion from the same conference in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Talking Nashville won it in 2015, Arkadelphia the last 2 years, and now Joe T. Robinson. The 1 year that wasn't was 2016. Warren, the same part of the state, won the state championship when they beat Pete Ridge.
RJ calls it the SEC of 4A football.
It's hard to argue that, that's for sure. Shiloh Christian, thought they had a chance to come out and go blow for blow, and honestly they have. 400 yards of offense through the Saints have, but you can't turn the football over 5 times and expect to be in any football game, and you hate to say it and you hate to see it, but the Saints are probably playing their worst game, which has a lot to say about the Joe T. Robinson defense.
Yeah, they're 14-0, haven't been beaten to this point, but Robinson, with a 1st and goal, can certainly wrap this thing up. It's kept by the quarterback Gaston, and he's going to be wrestled down back outside the 10-yard line.
You want a copy of any of the state championship games? Go to M&M Productions to place your order, and they tried that option read, which was wide open earlier in this game. At that time, Shiloh Christian did a nice job reading it, but I don't think Joe T. Robinson is going to be too distraught as that clock's going to continue to run.
They'll be able to get it under 6 minutes before they snap the football again. Robinson, one of 3 repeat teams in the state championship game this weekend. To the air, Gaston to the end zone, touchdown. Touchdown, P.J. Hall again.
His 3rd touchdown catch of the day, but what has been really impressive about these receivers for Robinson, Scott, is their separation right when the ball is about to arrive. It looks like they're even, but you know the old saying, if he's even, he's leaving. And that time, the little burst right before the ball arrives is able to explode for it, and I did not see this coming. The Saints are about to get mercy ruled.
Wow. P.J. Hall, 6'2", 180, a senior. He's going to be playing college football. Salvador Gabriel with the point after, and it is a 56-21 Senator lead.
9 catches, 85 yards, but the most important number, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
We've talked about Tollett and his huge numbers and his huge season, his huge game, but the play of P.J. Hall and Martell Nunnally should not be overshadowed. Between those two guys, 12 catches, more than 200 yards, and the most important stat you're going to see, 5 combined touchdowns for number 4 and 5.
Well, we've talked about the Robinson defense keeping Shiloh down to 21 points, but this Shiloh defense gave up 13.6 per game, and they've given up 56 tonight.
Yeah, they came out, and Joe T. Robinson landed a blow. They were able to sustain one themselves. They're down 14-7. That's what you got to remember. Go back to the first quarter.
Yep.
Shiloh had a 7-point lead. Looked like they had all the momentum, but since that point, 49-7, and it's been really one-sided. The field's tilted one direction. 489 yards of offense for Joe T. Robinson. New for 2020, AETN Sports is bringing you the high school baseball and softball finals in May. You can also get the latest updates by signing up for alerts at aetn.org/sports. And don't forget, we got the basketball finals coming up in March in Hot Springs. 12 games, 3 days. Scott Emmon, Bobby Swafford, R.J. Hawk, Eric Sullivan on the call.
That was fun last year.
Get jazzed.
That was a lot of fun.
Helps when you got buzzer beaters.
Oh, yeah, there were some great games.
Buzzer beaters make you and I look better. Well, make me look better. You're pretty good yourself.
Well, Robinson to kick off. And it's fielded by Carter. Carter gets across the 35-yard line and brought down there. Let's go down and check in with Eric.
Bobby, you got to love the relationship between Buddy Gaston and Coach Escola. I've kept my eyes on him a lot on the sidelines tonight, and Coach Escola never really got rattled with his quarterback, just really working with him. They go to their little iPads and look at things, but, Gaston coming up here playing the game of his life, 5 touchdowns, but once again, I'm just impressed with this 49-7 now? What Robinson has done. But that's a lot of trust there for Coach Escola to really go at his quarterback and be with him when it wasn't such a great start there.
Yeah, you talk about runs in basketball all the time, but a 49-7 run in football you don't see very often. Pretty impressive bounce back since that first quarter for the Senators. And now with the sportsmanship rule invoked, you're going to ask yourself, why is the clock running even if it goes out of bounds? It's because only a change of possession or a score would the clock stop.
Second time that's been invoked in the championship weekends. And the quarterback, Gaston, there, slow to get up. He was hit hard on his way down and lost the football.
Yeah, Eli Reese takes a big blow there. Lost the football. Looks like he was down. He went ahead and gave himself up. But Reese, at least for the moment, going to stay in the football game. That's a big blow for the senior quarterback to take.
We mentioned that forearm right to the helmet. We mentioned Robinson was one of 3 to make repeat appearances as that ball is caught. Oh, no, incomplete. I thought he caught it. He came up with it like he caught it, but it skidded on the ground there, intended for Tollett. The other 2, Junction City, who won last year in the 2A, and Osceola, who lost in the 3A, but they make it back here. So many. 3 this weekend. We had 2 full rematches.
Yep.
And Benton was back in it, so you're talking about 8 teams.
Yeah.
8 teams that made it all the way back. How hard is that to do?
That's pretty impressive. 8 of the 12 teams in the state championship games are back again. It kind of shows you football goes, and there's peaks and valleys. And
Reese, under pressure, gets the pass away somehow, and still on his feet is Kaysen. Kaysen's going to head to the sidelines and go out of bounds, but the clock will keep running.
And Eli Reese really slow to get up on that one. The quarterback's been hit more times tonight than he has been all season long. And the Shiloh Christian quarterback not feeling some of those big hits, but obviously got to be feeling a lot of frustration with an offense. And you see a number that flashes on the screen there, 4 of 13 on 3rd down, and that may be the most frustrating aspect of any of it for Shiloh.
You see Truett Tollett there. He was targeted on that play before when it was incomplete. It was his first target since early in the half. They've just had a hard time getting him the football since his 12 catches in the first half. That's been a big storyline of this game. Reese again has to get it off in a hurry, and there is a catch made by Tollett, and he's turned back shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down and a big stick that time by number 19, Deontay Moody.
Yeah, nice job by Moody. That's a big play against a really talented receiver, but also a kind of a statement play by the Robinson defense about what they've been able to do. They let Tollett pick up the 8-9 yards there, but they're going to make everybody pay for touching the football, and that's really been evident the last 3 quarters.
There is something about getting to the state championship and losing and getting back the next year. It's just a different feel for this Robinson team. Tollett again.
Too many guys on that Robinson sideline were here last year, know the pain of sitting through 8 months of the offseason of losing a game which they thought they played pretty poorly, which we would think give Shiloh Christian a lot of momentum going into next year. But with 24 seniors on this Saints roster, it's going to be a lot of new faces for Jeff Conaway and Shiloh Christian if they want to make a run at Little Rock next season. You know someone who couldn't make it down to the game or not coming out to tomorrow? Be sure to remind them you can watch it statewide live on AETN.
Reese going deep, and he's got his man. That's Tollett for the touchdown.
And that ties the state record for touchdown catches in a season. And
good for him.
Not in a moment that you'd like to see, but touchdown catch number 30. Wow. For Truett Tollett ties the record that's 2 years old now from John David White from Pulaski Academy. But he goes over 2,000 yards receiving and catches his 30th touchdown in the same game. Pretty impressive season for Truett Tollett, but obviously not going to be real thrilled with the outcome of this one.
No, and you can tell by his reaction or lack thereof. There was no celebration in that state record tying touchdown catch because his team is going to fall short of a state championship.
17 catches, 178 yards. That touchdown, another probably two scores that were right and down the middle of the field where Eli Reese missed him one time. That would have been a walk-in touchdown. That was earlier in this contest. That really would have made things interesting. But outstanding night for him. But this was a prime example. 17 catches, still can't get the job done if the defense is playing like they are for Robinson.
All right, Bobby, I'm going to put you on the spot. You go with Gaston or Hunter Smith for MVP?
Can you go with the defensive coordinator for Robinson?
Yeah. Well, I think somebody has to play to get.
You know, I've been in the media long enough to know that if you see a stat like 6 touchdown passes in a state championship game, you're not saying no to that. So I'm going to say Buddy Gaston. If I had a vote, which I don't, 274 yards, 6 touchdown passes is going to be your MVP.
All right.
274 through the air, not bad either.
That's going to beat out Hunter Smith, 22 carries, 213, a touchdown, 9.7 per carry.
Also caught a touchdown pass. 52 yards receiving. So 265 yards of total offense, not good enough for Bobby Swafford's MVP. You heard it here first.
And they're both juniors, so you can't give the nod to the guy who's not going to come back.
Yep.
And an onside kick, and it deflects off of a Shiloh Christian player before it goes the 10 yards. It goes out of bounds.
So we'll see if Robinson can run this one out with the mercy rule. Unless Shiloh Christian decides to call timeouts, I don't think Shiloh's going to get the ball back with a chance to get Tollett the record by himself. Eli Reese, we talked about the numbers for Gaston, Scott, but Eli Reese, 27 of 43, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns. Those are good numbers, but it's the 4 interceptions that have really been the difference in this contest.
Congratulations starting to go around now. Senior Deontay Moody being congratulated. Senior J.T. Towers seeing their last time as a Robinson Senator, coming to the sidelines there, and it's a matter of just snapping the football a couple of more times now.
This is the formation every coach installs, the last play of practice, and you hope that's the last thing you have to call on a game. The victory formation, and it's been a year in the making for Joe T. Robinson, and they're just now 130 ticks away from it happening.
They'll finish the year 14-1. Their only loss by a point to Arkadelphia early in the year, 28-27.
A team that lost last week by a point in the state semifinals. So we were a 2-point conversion away in the final minutes. I guess that was 2 rounds ago, excuse me. But pretty impressive performance here by Joe T. Robinson, Coach Escola, and these Senators.
Coach Escola says there was not much celebrating in their playoff victories because this was always the ultimate goal, and they're a minute and a half away from realizing it as we go down to Eric.
Yeah, guys, not to spoil the party for Robinson, I'm looking over to Eli Reese, quarterback of Shiloh. Both shoulders getting looked at by team trainers, and Bobby, you kind of alluded to it. He's been drug on the ground, thrown to the ground more than he has all season long, but sad way for his career to end, but hopefully he's okay. But both shoulders getting rubbed down and looked at right now.
All right, Eric, thanks very much. The celebration is on in the stands. They're feeling it on the sidelines.
And ice bath watch begins on the sideline. Those big orange jugs.
It's going to be 4th down here, so they're going to have to snap the football one more time. And if they don't punt it, there would be a change of possession. So if they don't run the clock out, I guess Shiloh would actually come back onto the field, right?
Yeah, they could run this all the way down. It looks like there's about a 17-second differential in the game clock and the play clock. And they may just be content with taking one more knee and giving Shiloh Christian the ball back inside the 40.
Yeah. They'd have to run around quite a bit to be able to burn the rest of this clock. But that's what they're indeed going to do. Take a snap and a knee. And the clock will stop as the offense runs off the field for the last time in celebration mode. And Shiloh will have to now snap the football once. They're going to have to get their defense on the field here.
Yeah, Truett Tollett's coming back onto the field, and you don't want to see it in this moment, but maybe Jeff Conaway dials it up, just throw it up to your big playmaking receiver, see if he can go out and get the record, or just go out the easy way and take a knee and Watch Robinson celebrate in front of you. They're going to go 5 wide, and I'm going to bet that Tollett's going to be double teamed on the bottom of your screen.
Robinson's going to have to hustle to get a man on here to have 11 on the field. Could be the final play of the game. They are going to throw it. And they are looking for Tollett, of course, and they're going to have to throw it away as Tollett fell down on the route. Nobody else was even going out on the route. And that will do it. A near 40-year drought is over for Joe T. Robinson. Todascola has his first team that wins a state championship.
An outstanding performance. You're going to look at the score, see 28 points allowed, 456 yards allowed by the Joe T. Robinson defense with Scott. That group, those 11 guys and the backups and the coaching staff, really impressive for the final 3 quarters of this contest, because that 56-28 score, maybe not exactly as close as the game was.
Hard to remember, but it was 14-7 in favor of Shiloh Christian at one point in this game. And we see there we have Eric down on the sidelines with J.T. Towers.
Towers is with us. You're the toughest guy in high school football. I want you to know this. What's this mean to you? You've been through a lot. You've been banged up this year. What's this mean for you guys?
Man, it's crazy. It's an unreal feeling. You know, there's nothing like it. You know, just, you know, this whole offseason, you know, we've been preaching, you know, it's 15 weeks. It's a 15-week season, and we expected to be here, you know. So just, you know, making those dreams come true and just coming out here and handle business. You know, the coaches put in a great game plan, and no better feeling.
What did this defense do? Y'all just turned up flipped the switch or something, and because Shiloh was kind of getting it up and down on you guys. What did y'all do, JT?
Yeah, early in the game, you know, they had some big plays. You know, they kind of got up on us, but we just buckled down. We said, you know, this game ain't over. You know, it's still first quarter. You know, we got to buckle down. You know, you got to man up, and we came out and we did that. So.
Well, you're an easy guy to root for what you've been through. Are you really getting surgery tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, but probably later next week during Christmas break.
Get well. I want to see you playing college football somewhere.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, JT, guys, one of the big reasons this team is state champs. Go celebrate with your guys, man.
Congratulations to him. Great job, Eric. Finding JT. He's the guy we wanted to hear from. What a story. What a year he's had. The past several years he's had, as Eric brought us that story earlier in the night that his brother had passed away on the field, or collapsed on the field, and later passed away. And then he had a car accident he went through about a year or so ago, and has been just struggling with injuries, broken bones, torn muscles, and has fought through it all. Bet he feels no pain tonight.
Yeah, no pain tonight. It was really funny because Eric says, they're looking at him on the sidelines, and the very next play, he's out there making the tackle, because a guy like that, a guy who's been through so much, he's not going to let a bump, a bruise, or an aching foot keep him off the field, because he wanted this feeling. He's been thinking about this game for 365 days or some change, and now he's got a chance to celebrate with the guys that he's been through so much with.
Let's go back down to Eric.
All right, Jonathan Blackman's with us. You guys, what did y'all do defensively, man? Y'all just had a new attitude after that first quarter and really got after Shiloh.
We just had to come out and we had to fight harder in the second half because we knew we was making some mistakes in the first half. We had to go back, look at some film, see what they was doing, and we came out here and we dominated.
You can celebrate a little bit, John. This is a great feeling, right?
Yes, sir. It's a great feeling. It's a lovely feeling. I love it. We've been working for this me and my seniors been working for this for about 7 years, and we finally got it, and it's finally come true.
All right, go get that big state championship trophy, Jonathan. Great job.
What's really big about Jonathan Blackman there is he played so well in the middle of that Robinson defense. With the exception of one drive, they owned the line of scrimmage. They were able to shut down the Shiloh Christian running game, which made them one-dimensional and made it, I'm not going to call it easy to shut down the Shiloh offense, but obviously much easier to slow down the Saints.
Eric is hustling down there, finding folks. Let's go back down with him.
All right, quarterback Buddy Gasson, young man, you threw for 6 touchdown passes. A little rattled, I thought, early, but what did you just kind of calm down and start slinging that dude?
So we did. It was just most of these guys first time here, and it was a great thing.
It's easy to throw to PJ, isn't it?
He will catch anything you throw in his direction.
All right, last year, a bad feeling in your mouth. Y'all have had 365 days to think about it. How motivating was that for you guys coming into this ballgame?
It was just a restart because, we had a new team. We lost, 26 seniors last year. It was a new team, so we knew what we had to do.
Hey, man, how's it feel to be a state champ now?
It's amazing.
All right, man, go celebrate with your teammates.
26 seniors a year ago, 18 this year. So this year's team fewer seniors on that sideline for Robinson than last year, but they got it done.
Yeah, Robinson fans, you can now purchase your state championship merchandise. Just log on to ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com. Image One, the official T-shirt provider of the AAA.
They got them ready to go. We are still waiting word on the MVP, and we are also going to get head coach Todd Escola at a moment in our postgame show, so we want you to stay tuned for that. We're going to take a quick break and be back with all of that still as the postgame show continues. Robinson wins their first state title since 1980. We're back to War Memorial in a moment.
AETN welcomes Jesse Cook and his Beyond Borders tour in an exclusive concert on January 11th at Reynolds Performance Hall in Conway. Call or visit us online and get your tickets today.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Well, both of us were wrong, Bobby. They've named the MVP as Robinson hoists the state championship trophy. It is not the quarterback. It is not the running back. It is the receiver and defensive back, P.J. Hall, that gets the nod for MVP. His offensive numbers, 9 catches, 85 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And his defensive numbers, 5 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and the INT. Congratulations to the senior, P.J. Hall. He's the MVP of the 4A title game.
Yeah, and I said it earlier, and I'll say it again here. His explosiveness near the goal line, it looked like he was covered. The 6'2" receiver able to break free at the last second and was really wide open on all 3 touchdown catches.
Let's take a look at some of the final numbers from tonight's game. The yardage much more even than the score. Take a look at that. 469 for Robinson, 456 for Shiloh. The rushing yardage, fairly even too, 195 for Robinson, 137 for Shiloh. Passing yards, Robinson had 274 to 319 for Shiloh. Boy, if you just looked at the statistics, the offensive numbers, Shiloh had more first downs, they ran more total plays. But that bottom number is what you really ought to focus on.
You take away the top line, which is the score, and the bottom line, the turnovers, like you just mentioned, Scott, and that's an even football game.
Yep.
We saw it last week with the 6A game. That's why Benton wasn't able to take down Searcy. And tonight, Shiloh Christian was just as good as Pulaski Robinson, but Joe T made the plays. We've called him about every different name. You can call him Joe T. Robinson, doesn't matter. You can call him state champs, though.
Eric Sullivan standing by with a winning head coach.
All right, Coach Escola, did you go to Vince Lombardi's speech number 32 or anything like that at halftime? You guys flipped a switch. Your defense was phenomenal, shutting down a very good offensive team in Shiloh.
Well, just proud of our kids. You know, we told them keep what's important. You know, all glory to God. We've tried to keep our priorities straight all year long, and the kids have kept their focus. Just really proud of them.
I know you're going to talk about your kids, and you will always do that. But for you to lose this game last year, I don't know if you've watched the film on that one or not, but you've had to think about this a year. Did that keep you fighting every day as a coach as well?
Well, you coach for the kids. And you know, last year those kids did a great job. We didn't end the way we wanted to, but it's a new script. You learn from your mistakes. We did do that, I hope.
Boy, Buddy Gaston, 6 touchdowns. Your defense amazing. PJ amazing. You ran the ball. I mean, everything clicked in that second half, didn't it?
Yeah, just proud of our kids. You know, we got so many young ones, sophomores and juniors playing, and they went out with no fear. And we told them, you know, the thing we learned from last year is you can't win a state championship unless you play to win and attack for 4 quarters. We try to do that in every phase of the game.
Now, were you born in 1980 the last time Pulaski won this?
Ball boy.
You were the ball. Okay, I didn't know if you were a baby or not. Yeah. But that's pretty special to be that guy in 1980 and bring the state championship home.
Great for our community. You know, we've got great fan support, I'm just tickled to death to bring a trophy back to West Little Rock.
All right, Coach, congratulations. It's been fun watching you all year. I'm going to go talk to the MVP if that's okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, we do got the MVP, Bobby and Scott Inman. This is Mr. P.J. Hall. Buddy, you just had a focus tonight. You stretched out to go get those touchdown passes. But talk about Buddy. I mean, here's a guy that struggled a little bit in the first quarter, but y'all got it going well, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Buddy, he's a great quarterback. He throws the ball well. But I just like to thank my teammates. The O-line gave us a good blocking, and we just did our thing.
How's it feel to be the most valuable player of the state championship game?
It feels great. I work for this. We work for this. I've been waiting here for 4 years, man. It's my turn. It was my turn, and I just came out here and did my thing and focused.
Defense, fantastic as well. Give them guys a shout-out.
Yes, sir. Hey, defense, us as a whole, we turned the intensity up. That first drive, they had us, but we just turned it up, and we got it.
Let's talk about you now. This is a big game for you. You thrive in these kind of games like this.
Man, I just like to thank God. It's all God's work. I work for this. Man. It's all my teammates, too.
All right, Scott and Bobby, stay here, PJ. You know this guy's going to be in the media one day. He's already looking into the camera with those pretty eyes going, I'm going to be on TV someday. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. PJ Hall, your MVP of the 4A state tournament. Scott and Bobby, we had a good one here. I cannot believe this game, and then you go back to Shiloh and our PA and Christian from last week.
Yeah.
The mercy rule, who would have thought that? So congrats to those Robinson Senators. They played a heck of a game tonight.
Hey, PJ may be on TV someday, but not before he has a pretty darn good college career.
Right.
I'm betting on that. Eric, thanks very much, and thank you for your work tonight. Eric did a great job on the sidelines, but he doesn't judge age very well. Because if he thought that Todd wasn't 39 years old, he's got 2 kids in college, so I knew better than that. But the ball boy,
that's right,
on the 1980 team, how about that for him to spend pretty much his whole life being around Robinson football and then to finally bring a trophy home.
Yeah, he didn't let the emotion show there, but you know that inside and tonight when this really hits him and the excitement, the adrenaline wears off from this football game, he's going to look back and realize how special tonight is because he was there the last time. This program has meant so much to him and his family just through the years and everything that he's been through. And Coach Escola to get a moment like this and to have his team, and I haven't seen him play all 15 times, but you can't tell me they played a better football game than they played tonight all season long.
4 down, 2 more to go, but this is the last one for you.
That's right.
Last stop for you. You get to go back to Northwest Arkansas, and RJ will step in and be color for the next 2. The doubleheader comes up tomorrow. We still have 2A and 3A champions to crown here on Saturday at War Memorial. It's been fun, though.
It has been. I'm with Eric. I did not see a mercy rule coming in this one. I didn't think either defense was going to get a stop, but that guy right there deserves the water shower on the sidelines because his defense won himself a 4A state championship.
56-28 the final tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.